play-by-play coverage of Wasatch Wasps baseball on 94.5 The Peak.
Good afternoon and welcome to the ballpark. Tyler Baird here with Tyler Moss live on 94.5 The Peak and HeberValleyRadio.com. Back-to-back games. Wasatch coming off of a 4-game winning streak, knocking off Westlake yesterday in 6 innings, 14-4, and have upped their record to 5-7 on the year. That's good enough to creep their way all the way up, Ty, to number 11, I believe, in the RPI. If I checked that right this morning, they've been able to climb their way all the way up to number 11. They've got a good one here today as we are down at Cottonwood High School. Cottonwood comes into today's game 8-4 on the year, number 7 in the RPI standings. And when it comes to the Blue Bloods of 5A baseball, Cottonwood's one, if the top, if not one of the top in the state.
Unmuted over here.
Yeah,
there we go. We got a couple machines here, and hopefully that sounded okay. Now, am I over there?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, all right. So, yeah, this is a top-tier team in Cottonwood, Tyler. Every time Wasatch comes down and plays Cottonwood, you know you're going to get a good game, a highly competitive game. Cottonwood checking in the top 10 in the RPI as well. They come in at 8-4 after getting a win yesterday against Cedar Valley as well. So this is a good one for Wasatch, who's faced a couple teams that are kind of trending in the wrong direction. Well, that's not Cottonwood. This is a team that's trending in the right direction right now, and so this will be a good measuring stick for the Wasps.
They are going to get one of their better pitchers today. It's junior Nielsen on the mound, 12 innings pitched on the year, a 4.08 ERA, 15 Ks and 7 walks in those innings. Crew Erickson will lead it off once again for the Wasps. Mound refined from design to project completion. Our team excels in understanding and implementing your specific lifestyle and taste preferences. Your sponsor of the opening pitch. Opening pitch is swung on and fouled off. Crew comes into today's game. 368 batting average, 8 RBIs on the year. Fastball on the inside, too far inside, moves the count to 1-1. A little bit different view this time, Ty. We're right next to the dugout. Going to adjust a little bit. Most coaches believe they can see the strike zone better from this angle, right? And so we're going to get
exactly
it.
Right.
Crew's going to swing on this one. This one's down the right left field line. It's going to fall down. Crew's going to have extra bases, at least a double. Left fielder gets it in there. But an opening double for Crew Erickson. Yesterday came into the game, or was 1 for 3 with a single, gets a double to start off the game here at Cottonwood.
Well, that's good. Let's get that out of the way right off the bat. An 11-game hitting streak now for Crew Erickson. He's been as consistent as you can find all throughout the state, Tyler. He's hit in 12 out of the 13 games that Wasatch has played this year, and that moves his hitting streak to 11 games.
He's going to bring up the third baseman, Chet Wilson, 486 batting average, 11 RBIs, was 1 for 3 yesterday with 1 run scored. That single came on actually a drag bunt. We'll see what Chet decides to do here. Nobody on base, or excuse me, nobody out. Again, Crew leads off the game with the double. That W brought to you by Gravity Coalition, offering the best in bikes, skis, snowboards, skateboards, and more in the Heber Valley. Curveball's going to be in the dirt. Crew will stay at second base. Ball 1 to Chet.
Well, you're right about this new angle here, Tyler. We're sitting right next to the dugout. Should be fun hearing the players a little bit more and the coaches, but you can see the pitches a lot better. That curveball's got some good bite on it.
Stat of the day today brought to you by the Gordon Law Group. Wasatch scored 14 runs yesterday on 10 hits, all 10 of those hits singles. So Crew Erickson breaks the singles barrier with a double to start off this game. Fastball's going to get by the catcher. You're going to go to the backstop. Crew will advance to third base. So just like that, Wasatch has a guy on third with nobody out here in the top of the first. Starting lineup today brought to you by the Dairy King, offering the best in shakes and burgers, best in state winners for the last 13 years. Leading off once again was Crew Erickson, starting in left. Chet Wilson starting at third base. Peyton Swap in center. Another fastball, or that was an off speed, off the mark, brings the count to 3-0. Your batting in the cleanup spot will be the first baseman, Cole Zimmerman. Batting fifth and playing second, Jack Bluth. DHing today and batting sixth, Jaxon Bolender. Tragan Shaw will get the start in right field. Once again, Carter Bucat at short, and then Cray McPhee will be behind the dish. And on the mound today will be Casey Anderson.
So another pass ball, Tyler, on that ball number 4. Chet takes the base, and Crew is going to come home and score on another pass ball coming in. Wasatch leads 1-0 on our first Wasatch physical therapy run of the ball game. And while we're getting settled here in this one, just doing a little bit of digging, wanted to make sure I had it right before I talked about it. This pitcher for Cottonwood, only a junior, Cameron Nielsen, he's a big-time player. He's committed to play in the infield at the University of Utah. He's not one of their go-to pitchers. When you look at his stats on the mound here, Ty, he's thrown 12 innings this year, given up 11 hits, 9 runs, 7 earned runs. So pitching is not his strength, but he's really good out there in the field. Already has a couple home runs, a couple triples, a couple doubles.
Hitting for over 500 on the year as well.
Yeah, very effective player here.
Chet's going to take off. It's going to be hit and run. Pate gets underneath it. He's going to foul it off. Frustrated with himself, and Chet will go back to first base. 1-1 count. Swap comes into today, 367 batting average, 3 home runs on the year, 12 RBIs. Was 3 for 3 yesterday with 2 RBIs and 3 runs scored. His ability to go the opposite way, a couple of hits the opposite way. Talked to Coach Jacobson this morning, and he just reiterated how pleased he's been with the 2-strike approach, 2 outs. 32 RBIs with 2 outs this season already for Wasatch in their first 12 games. So you're scoring about 3 runs a game with 2 outs. That's some big momentum shifters there for the Wasatch baseball team. 1-1, couple of pickoff moves over to Chet, not in time. Wasatch wearing their all-gray uniforms today with the black socks. On deck for the Wasps, Cole Zimmerman. Nielsen sets on the mound. Comes set. One look over at Chet. Delivers the 1-1. Chet's going to go again on the pitch. The ball is in time, but it squirts away from the glove of the shortstop. Give the stolen base to Chet Wilson. I believe it was a ball as well, so that moves the count to 2-1 with now runner in scoring position for Peyton Swap.
Yeah, you can see you kind of caught in between your words there. Do you call it squirts away, poked away? Because it kind of had a little bit of both going on there. It was the right pitch to run on. Curveball, slow down in the zone.
They did call it a strike, though.
Oh,
no, 2-1. 2-1 the count.
Just Scoreboard had it wrong.
Yeah, Scoreboard had it wrong. So 2-1 count. Chet safe in there at second base. Nobody out still here in the top of the first. Wasatch already up 1-0 after a Crew Erickson double. Fastball low, ball 3. Nielsen having a hard time finding it. Has been decent on the year. Like we mentioned, 12 innings pitched and only 7 walks.
1-0 on the season as well.
1-0. 4.08 ERA. He'll set. Takes one look at Chet. Delivers the 3-1. Fastball. Gets the outside part of the plate. Moves the count to full.
I'm curious to see, Tyler, how Wasatch plays moving off the turf. They've been pretty good at home on the turf, and now they're back on the regular field and got all the momentum going. This field at Cottonwood's really cool, too. It's a true diamond shape. You know, they call the baseball diamond the diamond. Well, they've cut out and done the fences here in the shape of a diamond entirely.
Ball 4 is delivered, so back-to-back walks has Wasatch now with runners on first and second to bring up the junior Cole Zimmerman playing first base today. 290 batting average and 9 RBIs. Got the win on the mound yesterday for the Wasps. Didn't hit. Wasn't in the lineup yesterday. Tyler, I'm going to throw it over to you for our Country Garden Nursery Keys to the Game, your one-stop shop for everything garden and yard related in the Heber Valley. Stop on into their indoor plant shop for the plant of the month.
Well, Wasatch has already accomplished this here in the first inning, but it was get off to a fast start. They're rolling on momentum here. Got a little pick play maybe going on at Cottonwood's.
Well, Cole's squared the bunt, and he's going to pull back. Ball gets away from the catcher, but neither Peyton nor Chet see it, so it's going to reset at 1-0.
Over the last 4 games, Wasatch has scored 47 runs and only given up 9, and so they really have momentum going right now. And so my key would be to keep that momentum going, get off to a good start here on the road, try to put some runs on the board. And already they've got one. They're leading 1-0 against Cottonwood, and they've got runners on second and first with Zimmerman up. So I like this move to maybe bunt them over, see if you can get a 2-3 run lead here in the top of the first, and then you need your pitchers to be effective in the bottom of the inning and jump out early.
Especially with Jack Bluth on deck. He's been really good the last 5 games for the Wasps. Had 2 RBIs yesterday. Cole's going to square again. Gets it down to third baseline. This is a good bunt. Third baseman comes up, throws it to first. Is it in time? Does get him in time, but that's going to move both race runners to second and third with 1 out. Great bunt there from Cole Zimmerman.
Yeah, you can't do it any better than that. Cole put that ball right where it needed to be. Third baseman did a good job crashing and throwing a strong ball over to get him out. If that's not a perfect throw, Cole's going to have a base hit on that. That's great execution, and you love that from the Wasatch lineup. That's your 4-hitter coming in and executing just perfectly on the bunt. Now you got 2 of your hottest hitters coming up, Bluth and Bolender, sitting on deck.
A little bit of a wind gust coming in here. Thought for a second we were at Wasatch, but then I remember, no, we're at Cottonwood. Usually not as much wind down on these parts. It's going to bring up Jack Bluth. He's been good in the last 5 games, a home run, 9 RBIs on the year. He's going to swing and takes or swing and foul that one straight back. Bluth 2 for 2 yesterday with a couple RBIs and a run scored. Had the home run against Maple Mountain down at Maple Mountain, a 3-run shot.
Again, if you haven't followed this Wasatch team through their first few games of the season, the record would be very deceiving to you. They come in at 5-7, and I think they're going to sneak up on a lot of teams with that record. But you inspect that a little bit more closely, and this team has 5 last-inning losses, Tyler, by 1 run. This is a really good team, and 4 of those 5 losses are the number 1 and 2 and number 2 and 3 teams in 5A and 6A. So this Wasatch team is for reals. They've got a lot of ability, and they're starting to flex it here over the last couple weeks.
Ball taken on the outside, moves the count to 1-1 to Jack Bluth. 1 out here in the top of the first. Wasatch already up 1-0. Another great piece of hitting by Jack Bluth. He gets a curveball, and he gets it to base hit down the left side. He's going to try to leg this one out to a double. Left fielder going to get it in, but not in time. And a 2 RBI double for Jack Bluth to the left side. He continues to hit well to that opposite way. Another good piece of hitting from Jack Bluth.
Yeah, Tyler, that's a great piece of hitting. He missed the fastball that came on the first pitch that was hard and over the middle. That time he keeps his hands back and is disciplined and tries to throw or drive a softer one the other way. And he doesn't try to do too much with it. That's what I've been most impressed with. He hits a home run a couple games ago, and sometimes as a hitter in high school, you start falling in love with the long ball, but that's not Jack. In fact, he's gotten a little bit better at driving the ball the other way. He's had 3 opposite field hits in his last 4 at-bats.
It's going to bring up Jaxon Bolender, 444 batting average on the year, 5 RBIs. Wasn't in the lineup yesterday. The DH today. He's going to swing a little bit behind the fastball. It's going to be fouled off to the right side.
A little behind. That's generous. He pulled that one out of the catcher's glove, hit that over the dugout of first base.
Over the building, over behind the dugout.
It wasn't short on power, even though he was like, yeah, that thing popped off of there.
Wasatch 3 runs scored here in the top of the first on a couple of doubles from Crew Erickson and Jack Bluth. Fastball's up in the zone. Nielsen's had a hard time landing the fastball in his first inning. Has a couple of walks. If you're just joining us, Wasatch up 3-0 here in the top of the first. Erickson with a double to lead off the inning. Back-to-back walks to Chet and Peyton. Zimmerman with a sacrifice bunt, and then a double by Bluth. Has the loss up 3-0 early in this ballgame. Fastball does get the outside part of the play. Moves the count to 1-2.
Fight now, let's go 6.
Tragan Shaw on deck for the Wasps.
Go, Bob.
Hitting from the left-hand side will be Tragan. Jackson hitting from the right side. Nielsen taking his time, now gets the pitch. He'll set. Takes one look at Jack Bluth at second. Jack, decent lead, takes a second look, delivers the 1-2. Jack's going to go. Ball down, and Jack Bluth gets in there safe at third base. Great piece of base running there from Jack Bluth. Wasatch running a little bit. A stolen base from Chet Wilson and Jack Bluth to get this game going.
Yeah, and that was beautiful, Tyler. Jack got a good lead, good read, good jump. Coach Jacobson loving it, Tyler. I don't know if Jack took that on his own or if that was called. The reaction makes me think that was just a good read from your senior in Bluth.
Jack's going to try to get home there on a ball away from the catcher, and Jack Bluth beats the pitcher home, and Wasatch is up 4-0 on a couple of bases taken by Jack Bluth.
Oh, man, that is a clinic there being put on by Jack Bluth, Tyler. That is beautiful baseball. Double down the opposite field way, finds the lull in the defense, swipes the bag, and on the very next play, takes a ball that didn't get too far away from the catcher. The catcher got on it quickly and was able to flip it to the pitcher who was covering. But again, because Bluth was so committed to what he was doing, he was able to beat the throw still.
Fastball up in the zone, but Jackson Bolender knows what to do with that. Another 2-out or 2-strike hit. And it's to the opposite field. Line drive over the second baseman's head. Another great piece of hitting there from Bubbles. And Wasatch has things rolling up 4-0 with only 1 out here in the top of the first.
Oh, boy, Ty, this team is putting it on Cottonwood in the top of the first inning here. How about that, too? That phrase feels good saying out of the mouth. Again, the little bit of Wasatch history, this is negative Wasatch history. Last time the Wasps were down on this field, 2018, first round of the state tournament, they lost that game 20-1. And there were, of course, some side stories to that, why it got to that way. The large one being the starting pitcher for Wasatch had to come out due to injury in the first inning of that game. But, Ty, this one has to feel good for Coach Jackson coming out and jumping on him early like this.
Tragan Shaw's going to swing at the first pitch, a little bit ahead of it. He's going to foul it off behind the dugout. Tragan comes into today, 364 batting average with 6 RBIs. Was 0 for 2 yesterday, but did still have an RBI. He's going to take a fastball outside for ball 1. Yeah, you mentioned Wasatch history, Tyler. I have some positive Wasatch history. This day in history for Wasatch High School, we talked a little bit about it yesterday. One of the best wins that Wasatch ever had in their first year in 4A with Spanish Fork as a region foe. Chase Adams threw a complete game shutout against Spanish Fork and got the 1-0 win. Wasatch scored 1 run in the bottom of the first, and Chase Adams did the rest through a complete game 3-hitter against the eventual state runner-ups in the Spanish Fork Dons, and Wasatch got their first major victory over the number 1 ranked team in 4A at the time.
Yeah, that was a huge win for Wasatch, coming up from 3A to 4A, trying to prove that they belong, and that Spanish Fork team was good, Tyler. They had a couple of guys that went on to pitch and play at BYU, and Wasatch went toe-to-toe with Adams, who was one of the better players that has played at Wasatch over the years.
That was back in 2014. A little bit behind a little bit. Tragan Shaw's going to hit a ground ball to the second baseman. They're going to get the leadoff guy at second, but Tragan's going to beat it out at first base, bring up Carter Bucati, who's going to hit it to the 5-6 hole. Shortstop knocks it down, but no play there. It's going to be an infield single for Bucati. And now we have runners on first and second with 2 outs with the number 9 hitter coming up, Craig McPhee, who's catching today for the Wasps. Talking to Kelson Stocking, sounded like he rolled his ankle a little bit, got his cleat stuck in the turf when he was at third base and rolled that a little bit. Walking around, says it's not too serious. Craig McPhee, though, does get the start behind the plate today. He'll take ball 1, fastball up in the zone. Crew led off the inning with a double. He's on deck. Cray, 125 batting average, but did have a couple of hits in his last game against Maple Mountain. Takes a fastball and gets the outside corner, making the count 1-1.
Cottonwood already had some action going in the bullpen. Tyler got a big lefty getting loose up there right now. See if Nielsen can even get out of the first inning here.
Casey Anderson on the mound for the Wasps. We'll dive into his stats in the bottom half of the first. Another fastball, misses on the outside, makes the count 2-1. Yeah, I remember we were at Morgan in that game. We were coaching a freshman-sophomore game up in Morgan and got the phone call that we had won 1-0, and it was a shock because we'd gotten beat up a little bit down at Spanish Fork the day before, and Chase Adams went out and threw a gem. Fastball a little bit up in the zone. Cray chases it, swings and a miss, and that's going to make the count 2-2 with 2 outs here in the top of the first.
Yeah, that one was kind of a fun history moment. Talk about Coach Mike Scholl, who was coaching that team, and that day before when Wasatch got beat badly by Spanish, one of the Wasatch players hit a double when they were down by a significant margin. It was showboating a little bit on second base. And
this ball's going to be inside, and Cray's going to take it off the elbow, so that's going to load the bases. Speed up runner's going to come in. It's going to be Tad Sulcer. Good at bat again by Cray. Falls down to 2 strikes and then gets a ball on the inside part of the plate, and a good team at bat gets another base runner. And that's going to bring our first Mirror Lake Station trip to the mound. The Mirror Lake Station voted best donuts in Utah. Your stop for gas, groceries, and goodies. New owner David and Kristen Wade invite you to swing by and say hello this season at Mirror Lake Station.
Finish that thought here, though, Tyler. As Coach Scholes saw that going on, he blew up, and he got after that player for Wasatch and the whole team and said, you don't showboat when you're down, and you got to play the game right, respect the game. And I remember it pretty vividly because then the next day in practice after Chase threw that gem and ended up winning 1-0 over the number 1 team, Coach Scholes started doing the showboaty stuff that the player was on second. He said, now you can do it, right? You went out and proved yourself, and now we can have a little fun here in practice now that you guys showed that you could play with the big boys, and that was a pretty fun moment for Wasatch baseball.
It's going to bring up Crew Erickson, his second at bat of the inning. He led off the inning with the double down the left field line. He now has another opportunity here with bases loaded. Tragan Shaw on third, Carter Bucad on second, and then Tad Sulcer, who's speed up running for Craig McPhee, on first base. Still Nielsen on the mound for the Colts. Crew's going to swing at this one. This one's going to go down the right field line this time, and here he gets the pitcher out in the bullpen, and we'll reset it. No balls, 1 strike.
Caught the pitcher off guard, too. He didn't expect the ball to be coming. That thing whizzed about 3-4 feet away over to his right side, and he kind of jumped a little bit there, Tyler, and you can't blame him a little bit.
Good speed all around for Wasatch here. Crew down 0-1. Nielsen sets, delivers the 0-1, high and inside, moves the count to 1-1. Mentioned the Wasatch, one of the stats of the day was over 3 RBIs per game with 2 outs for this Wasatch team over their last 5 games. have really done a good job with 2 outs and doing it again today. Crew fastball is on the outside, but does get the corner. Moves the count to 1-2. Wasatch already with 2 hits today with 2 strikes in the opening inning. Top of the first, Wasatch up 4-0. Nielsen delivers the 1-2. And this is going to get Crew right in the back. That one's going to sting a little bit. He throws the bat, which actually hits Chet, but that's going to bring in another run, so that's going to make the the score 5-0. That's going to bring another trip to the mound, and this might do it for Nielsen. And he points to the bullpen. We're going to have a pitching change. We're going to go ahead and take a break. Wasatch leads 5-0 here in the top of the first against Cottonwood.
Hi, friend. Are you ready for your next delicious meal? Come to the Dairy King, home of the train, where they're serving the yummiest food to friends and family in the valley. Come in and get a mouth-watering peach shake, peach cobbler shake, or peach raspberry shake. Dairy King, the winner of the Best of State for 18 years. They're celebrating their 75th anniversary. Bring a picture and a memory of being at Dairy King. Proudly serving the Heber Valley for 75 years. The Dairy King, home of the train, is serving deliciousness daily. Stop in today.
Timberline Ace Hardware is your full-line Benjamin Moore paint store. Visit them for your home projects, business-to-business, and contractor needs. And remember to ask about their delivery services. And they're looking for some cashiers. Apply today. And get your Carhartt wear, your cool outdoor clothing, and Wrangler jeans. Timberline Ace Hardware, located west of the Wasatch Wasps football stadium at 737 South Main Street, serving the Heber Valley for over 50 years.
The 50s produced some great sound. That early rock and roll triggered so much emotion for so many. Here's another sound from that era. The dental drill triggers a whole different set of emotions. The sounds, the smells, feeling out of control, whatever keeps you from the dentist at Dorius Dental, we get it. We focus on the little things. Distract yourself with your favorite episode of The Office, or crank up the 80s or 90s and let it take you back to another time. At Dorius Dental, we are sensitive to your needs. We are taking care of the little things so you can move on to more enjoyable things. Located in Gateway Plaza, Heber City.
You might be used to having someone ask you the question, what is it that you need? I think that's limiting. I'm going to take you through a 6-step process. And it's simply answering questions. And it might not just be home. It might be that you want that fancy new car. It might be that you want trips. It's your list. What is it that you really, really want?
Call Tom Stone at Guild Mortgage in Heber City.
Tom Stone, MLS 257849. Guild Mortgage Company is an equal housing lender. MLS 3274. All loans are subject to underwriter approval. Terms and conditions may apply. Subject to change without notice. This is live coverage of Wasatch High School sports on 94.5 The Peak.
Wasatch jumps out to an early 5-0 lead, and we're still not done here in the top of the first. Runs brought to you by Wasatch Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine, your rehabilitation specialist dedicated to your total recovery from sports injuries, auto injuries, industrial and or commercial injuries. Let Dan Ivey and his team get you back to 100%. Wasatch leads 5-0, brings up Chet Wilson with the bases loaded. Carter Bucad, Jack Bluth, Crew Erickson on first base, and Chet Wilson in the box. Chet walked in his first at bat on 4 pitches, ended up stealing second afterwards. First pitch of the game for number 24, Spencer, 14 2/3 innings pitched, 3.34 ERA. Does have 16 walks in those 14 innings that he's thrown. But another one of Cottonwood's guys. You don't know in these non-region games in the middle of region if you're going to see bullpen guys, but Cottonwood's going with a couple of their better guys. Starts with the ball, comes back with a fastball for a strike. Throwing from the left side is Spencer, a senior. 1-1 count with 2 outs. Bases juiced for Wasatch here in the top of the first. Spencer receives the sign, sets, high leg kick, delivers. Fastball, Chet swing, misses. Ball on the outside part. It's going to bring up 1-2 count.
It's a pretty good change of speed there, Tyler. That one looked like it fooled Chet a little bit. Already seeing a nice mix-up of pitches here from this new lefty.
1-2 count. Pitch is delivered. Curveball that time, and he gets it to pull the string, comes down and strikeout looking. But Wasatch, impressive in the opening inning. 5 runs on 4 hits, no errors by Cottonwood. Wasatch does leave 3 on base as Wasatch leads 5-0. You're listening to 94.5 The Peak.
Hi, this is Nicole with Mountain Refined Furnishings and Flooring. And if you didn't know, we've recently partnered with Mattress Warehouse of Utah to bring you the largest selection of mattresses around. The team at Mountain Refined prides themselves on making your home a place where you love to be. We offer a large selection of furnishings, flooring, window treatments, gifts, decor, and so much more. If you haven't been by lately, stop and check it out. You'll be pleasantly surprised. We're located at 480 North Main Street.
Heber City Point S is locally owned and operated by Larry Rhodes and Brad Hyatt. They offer the best brand tires at low prices with extensive knowledge and experience of repair and services with no pressure sales. Only what you need. They've been taking care of cars, trucks, and trailers for over 20 years. No appointment needed, conveniently located, free shuttle service, and free Wi-Fi. Take $5 off your next visit when you tell them 94.5 The Peak sent you over. That's Heber City Point S.
Gucci Goo Barbecue in Heber Valley is a premier barbecue restaurant. You can choose from finger-licking ribs, poppin' andouille sausage, tasty chicken, tender brisket, delicious pork, and yummy street tacos. Friday night dates, take that significant other for the smoked prime rib that melts in your mouth. Family-friendly atmosphere where everyone is welcome, quick service for dine-in or takeout, great quality food, and great value for your money. That's Gucci Goo in Midway on Main Street.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. KTMP Heber City and live sports coverage with Ty and Ty.
Bottom of the first, once again brought to you by Wasatch Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine, your rehabilitation specialist dedicated to your total recovery from sports injuries, auto injuries, industrial and or commercial injuries. Let Dan Ivey and his team get you back to 100%. Casey Anderson on the mound for the Wasps, 13 2/3 innings pitched on the year, 7.17 ERA. He'll face leadoff guy Burke, shortstop, 275 batting average, 6 RBIs and 1 home run on the year. This Cottonwood team can swing it, Ty. This 5-run lead is not big enough if you're facing this Cottonwood team that has 4 guys with a home run, and just like that, a nice single up the middle from Burke gets Cottonwood going.
Yeah, Tyler, you're exactly right. This Cottonwood team coming in the game again, they're 8-4 on the year. And when you inspect their team statistics a little bit more, it's not just 1 or 2 guys that can swing it. They do have a couple like Nielsen that stands out, who is their starting pitcher, and he's hitting over 500 on the season, Ty. But they've got a couple other guys in that lineup that are well over 400 as well. So a couple of those names I'll get into here a little bit more later. But this is a team that you're exactly right. You're going to need to keep piling on if you're Wasatch and not get comfortable and content with a 5-run lead.
He's going to bring up the center fielder for Cottonwood. And Ty, you're the cultured one out of the two of us. How would you pronounce P-F-E-I-L?
Feel is what I would say.
Just go Feel. Feel's going to swing and miss after taking ball 1, so a 1-1 count now. No outs here in the bottom of the first. Wasatch leads 5-0. The 1-1 pitch is low. Cray does a great job of scooping that one up, fires it back to Casey. Moves the count to 2-1. Casey on the year. 9 walks, 8 Ks. Gets him to swing and miss at a slider down in the zone. Moves the count to 2-2.
Well, so far right now with Field, Tyler, he's shown a tendency to maybe be overly aggressive, chase outside of the zone. So if you're Casey, you can keep trying to extend that a little bit if you want to. See if he'll keep chasing a little bit early on.
Casey, 2-2 count now. 14 RBIs for Field on the year, so he's a free swinger. He's going to get a hold of this one. He's going to go a lazy ground ball to first base. It's going to roll foul. Good job there from Cole letting that go foul. And we'll reset still at 2-2.
I saw the look, Blue. I saw the look.
A couple other players here, Tyler, for Cottonwood to kind of watch out for. Stinson, only a sophomore, hitting .423 on the year. Has a couple home runs as well. And Phil, as you pointed out here, he's floating right around 300 on the season. But then they've got a steady string of 300-plus hitters. Soren, Snow, Fox, all those guys above 300 for Cottonwood.
2-2 pitch, low and inside on the curveball, and we'll go to full. Full count, nobody out. Runner on first here in the bottom of the first. Burke for Cottonwood got things going with the single up the middle. A lot of underclassmen in this lineup. This ball is going to be hit to Jack Bluth at second. He'll throw it over to short. Make sure of one. Didn't throw that very hard over to short. But that ball took him to his glove hand side, so didn't think he was going to get the double play. He's also talking about possibly just not having a good handle on the ball. But they do get the leadoff guy out, so that's the first out of the game.
Well, and that's the right play. You know, if you're not sure on it, take your time and make sure you get that lead runner. Although that was pretty close on that lead runner too. He was bearing down there to second base, and it was just enough. Got him by about a step.
It's going to bring up the junior starting pitcher, now DH, as Wasatch is able to run him out of the game. It's a fastball up in the zone, and he smokes that one over the third baseman's head for a single. Good piece of hitting once again there from, well, you mentioned Cottonwood's best hitter. 513 on the year, 15 RBIs, 2 home runs. He's had a great start to the year. Wasatch was able to chase him off the mound, but he's trying to help himself out with the single. Second single of the bottom of the first for Cottonwood.
You can see some early philosophies here, though, can't you, Tyler? They're swinging early in the count, looking for pitches they can handle.
It's going to bring up the number 4 hitter, number 5, Dozy, a junior, 280 batting average, 1 home run, 6 RBIs on the year. Does have good power. With runners on first and second, 1 out.
That's another first pitch swing, though, Ty, that Cottonwood's getting after. And Casey has a handful of pitches here. He's one of those guys, it's like a video game. He can throw 4 or 5 different pitches anytime if he wants to. And maybe he'll start mixing those up as you get, maybe a couple times through the lineup on this team.
Misses on the one on that pitch outside. Moves the count to 1-1. Wasatch with 1 out here in the bottom of the first. 5-0 the score. The 1-1 pitch swung on. I think it's going to go off of his leg, so it'll be 1-2 count. Another good job of Casey in mixing up the speed. Dozy out in front of that one. Your infield today for the Wasps, Chet Wilson starting at third base, Carter Bucott at short, Jack Bluth at second, and Cole Zimmerman at first base. Craig McPhee behind the dish. Casey tries to go upstairs with the fastball, too far upstairs, and it's going to bring the count to 2-2. Dozy hitting from the left-hand side. Playing first base today for Cottonwood. Casey's going to miss on the outside part of the play, and we're going to go to full count for the second time here in the bottom half of the first. Wasatch will play their next game on Tuesday. So not a quick turnaround, but a decent turnaround. So be looking at bullpen situation. Jackson Kelson should start that game on Tuesday. Fastball is going to be swung on and fouled over our heads on the left-hand side, and we'll reset it with the count full. Wasatch jumped out to an early 5-0 lead in the top half of the first, thanks to hits, 2 doubles from Jack Bluth and Crew Erickson. This ball swung on and smoked down the right side, but it does go foul. And we'll reset again at full. So a double by Crew Erickson, a double, 2 RBI double from Jack Bluth, an RBI single, or excuse me, just a single from Jackson Bolender. Bucott also with the single, and then a couple of base running scores as well in the inning. Casey sets, delivers, gets him on the outside, sits him down looking. That strikeout brought to you by Physical at the Fit Stop, your locally owned and operated physical therapy clinic, serving you from head to toe, including vertigo to sports injuries, serving the Heber Valley for over 40 years. Good pitch on the outside corner, and Wasatch has 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. It's going to bring up the right fielder, a sophomore, Stinson, 423 batting average, 2 homers and 9 RBIs on the year. 2 looks, now 3. Now delivers. This one swung on. It's going to be a lazy ground ball to the right side. Jack Bluth was covering second. Scoops it, throws it to Cole in time. And Wasatch gets out of the bottom of the first with no runs scored on 2 hits, no errors. 2 runners are left on base as Wasatch does a good job of taking the 5-0 lead. We're going to the top of the second.
Dan Sluga at Wasatch Back Flooring is extending his services to include quality paint products to complete your home remodeling needs. Locally owned and operated, Dan and his team can help you find the right flooring for your home with quality products from Mohawk, Shaw, Target, Godfrey Hirst, and many more. Since 2009, they've been exceeding their customers' needs by helping them select flooring that fits both their lifestyle and budget. They've got you covered at Wasatch Back Flooring and Paints.
Wasatch Back Grill and Deli is a family-owned and operated business serving great food and customer service in Heber City and Midway for over 7 years. For a burger with kick, try the Firehouse. Have a hankering for some seafood? Try fish and chips. Or try the Mandarin chicken salad. Their homemade recipes, freshly grilled burgers and sandwiches are complemented with unique sauces and homemade sides. They provide the best experience and highest quality food. Stop by today and try their great menu items. As a thank you to teachers, first responders, medical personnel, and military, get 15% off meals all year round.
This is live coverage of Wasatch High School sports on 94.5 The Peak.
Welcome back to the top of the 7th. Wasatch Back Flooring and Paint. From the words of Wasatch Back's customers, from start to finish, the entire transaction was honest, professional, and meticulous. Highly recommend Wasatch Back Flooring and Paint for your floor and painting needs. Wasatch leads 5-0 as we go into the top half of the second inning. Peyton Swap will lead it off. He walked in his first at bat. Takes strike one, gets a hold, pops this one up to the right side. Didn't get out of the box quickly. He thought maybe that was going to be pushed foul, but the wind is blowing out to the left, and that kept that in play. Right fielder Stinson's going to come underneath it. Canicorn catch, and Wasatch has their leadoff hitter retired. Coach Jacobson comes over and talks to McKay about that. He's going to bring up the junior. Cole Zimmerman had a great sacrifice bunt in the top half of the first. And he's going to take a curveball that's going to go at his head and goes back to the backstop. Already set with the 1 ball. Second inning action also brings you our Wasps Rewind update. Spring, we were talking to Dinah Farr, the trainer for Wasatch, and she said spring's a different animal with all the different athletics and events that are happening. A lot going on. Cole's going to take the second pitch for a strike. And that one's outside, so moves the count to 2-1. We mentioned soccer's been off this week due to the spring breakdown in Utah County. Currently sitting at 4-2 in their season. They will be traveling on Tuesday. Cole Zimmerman's going to swing at the 2-1, and that ball is smacked through the 5-6 hole. Good barrel there from Cole Zimmerman, and he has a single with 1 out for the Wasps. Hitting .290 on the year with 9 RBIs, has his first hit of the ballgame.
Yeah, Cole, your winning pitcher yesterday as well, coming along nicely on the mound for Wasatch, Tyler, and been hitting in that cleanup spot all year. And he's really a nice weapon that you have there in that cleanup spot because he can do a little bit of everything. He's got power, gap-to-gap ability, but he also laid down a nice bunt in the first inning, as you saw, handles the bat well, and there you see a nice little opposite field bat control as he handled a tough pitch, went the other way.
He's going to bring up Jack Bluth, had a single to the left side. And you got to love this if you're Jack. You've been doing it well to the opposite side. They're actually shifting to the opposite field. And Jack Bluth has great power to the right field side. See if he gets anything on the inside part of the plate. Big hole between the first baseman and second baseman. Zimmerman takes a good lead over at first base. First pitch up in the zone. It's the count to 1-0.
Jack's just seeing the ball so well right now, Tyler. You can see on that ball as it was coming by, he's locked in. He's in a super aggressive mode, wanting to get after any pitch that he can, but he's not chasing either. He's seeing the ball well in the zone and going to make the pitcher come to him.
1-0 pitch. Actually, it's going to be a throw over to first base. Zimmerman gets back easily. Softball team back in action today at home. 8-4 on the year. They're trying to stop a 3-game skid against Ridgeline. Still with the 3-game skids, currently sitting at number 4 in the RPI standings. But put in the earbud, keep listening to us, and go watch softball team at home today. Long pause here from Spencer. He's going to deliver the 1-0, and it's inside for ball 2.
Spencer is looks to be not an original addition on this team, Tyler. When you look at the coach's lineup that they gave us, he's a penciled-in guy on the lineup. So maybe he's just recently decided he wants to play and move in. Who knows, but he wasn't on the original roster where they have him.
2-0 count right now with 1 out. Cole Zimmerman at first base. Another long pause he's going to throw over to Zimmerman again. Wasatch ran around the bases in that first inning. Couple stolen bases, couple of balls in the dirt, and it's got the pitchers thinking about it.
Yeah, Ty, while we have a second, the Gordon Law Group stat recap of the first inning. Wasatch with 4 hits, and those hits came from Bluth, Erickson, Bucad, and Bolender. They also had 4 guys get on base by way of walk or hit by pitch. That was Swap, Wilson, and then McPhee and Erickson both got hit by pitches as well.
Jack's going to take the 2-0 pitch for a strike, moves the count to 2-1. Looks down at the sign from Coach Jacobson.
This Cottonwood team has some good wins on the board, Tyler. They've beaten Taylorsville 10-6 on the year. Brighton, they won 9-5. 10-run Ridgeline 15-0. Have a win over another Region 9 foe in Provo 3-2.
Cole Zimmerman's going to take off on the 2-1. Ball's up in the zone. Catcher tries to get rid of it quick, but a tough pitch to try to throw out a runner on, and Cole Zimmerman's in there. That's now 3 stolen bases for Wasatch in the ball game, and Wasatch once again has a guy in scoring position. And a 3-1 hitter's count for Jack Bluth, who's as hot as any hitter right now for the Wasps.
Well, about halfway through the season, the recipe looks pretty clear with Coach Jacobson, doesn't it? Aggressive on the base paths, disciplined at the plate, and it has been working well over the last few weeks.
3-1 count. Jack Bluth already with 2 RBIs in the ball game. Pitch is delivered, swung on, and he hits that 3-4 hole, as I was mentioning. Let's see if Cole Zimmerman decides to test the right fielder. Does not do so. He'll stay at third base. But Jack Bluth singles to the right or left side in his first at bat, and then hits the 3-4 hole that at bat.
So already 2 for 2 again in this one. Jack Bluth reached base all 4 times in his at bats yesterday. 2 hits, 2 walks, and he had a sac fly in there as well. And today already 2 for 2 in this one with a double and a single.
Yeah, 4 RBIs. He now matches Chet Wilson with 11 RBIs to lead the team. We're going to bring up Jackson Bolender, who singled to the right side in his first at bat. Jackson Bolender hitting over 400, 444 coming into this ball game. Takes a strike, looked pretty good. It's going to be down in the count. That's one you want if you're a pitching coach.
Tough one if you're the pitcher, not getting that call.
1 out here, top of the second. Wasatch already with 6 hits in today's game. It's going to be a pick over to Jack Bluth. Jack Bluth was already diving back to the bag and stood up by the time the ball had gotten there.
Yeah, the move's pretty apparent when Spencer's going over there. He's dipping the back shoulder hard, and his legs are a giveaway. Both Cole Zimmerman and Jack Bluth have not been close to being picked off on these. They're getting a good read on the lefty.
1-0 count to Bub. Takes it. Swing, misses. No, it's going to be fouled off, and it's going to go off of the catcher. Tough break from the catcher. Umpire's going to come out, make sure the catcher has some time to recuperate a little bit. 1-1 count.
With the lefty up like this, Tyler, and one thing that Wasatch is probably going to do here within the next pitch or two is when you're reading that pickoff move as well as you can, what you can do is you can go first move.
Yeah.
And Jack Bluth is probably going to be put in motion here pretty soon. And if you go first move on a lefty with a long motion anyway, he should be able to swipe that back pretty quickly here. Unless there's a hidden move that we haven't seen from Spencer yet.
Right. 1-1 count. 1 out. Runners on first and third. Jackson Bolender at the plate. Spencer delivers the 1-1. It's up in the zone. Bolender's going to get it over the third baseman's head. Ground ball that bounced over the third baseman's head. It's going to be a single, and it's an RBI single, and Wasatch scores their first run here in the top of the second.
Well, when things are going your way, they're going your way. That ball had no business being a hit. That thing hit 1 foot in front of home plate and just took a nice little high hop over the third baseman who had some stone feet. He didn't retreat back on that ball, but that thing, if you've got a third baseman playing another foot back, is an easy double play ball probably for Cottonwood. But that one had eyes, as they say, and was able to find its way down.
First and second, 1 out. It's going to bring up Tragan Shaw. Had a fielder's choice ground out in his first at bat of the second baseman. On the year, Shaw with 6 RBIs, was 0 for 2 yesterday. Takes strike 1. Wasatch now with 7 hits already in the ballgame. Had 10 yesterday, all of them singles in that 14-4 victory over Westlake. Tragan sets. Spencer takes his time on the mound. He's going to set now, finally. Takes a look at Bluth at second base. Now a pick move. Not in time.
Second baseman didn't look like he was ready for that one, Tyler. He's kind of hovering over there. And as he saw the pitcher was going to fire, his body was really kind of desperately trying to recover over there. And I thought that ball was going to end up in center field for a moment. Had just enough on the glove side hand to reach out and grab it, though.
We reset. 1 strike, no balls to Tragan Shaw, hitting from the left-hand side. Junior, starting right fielder for the Wasps. Spencer, 2 looks at Jack Bluth this time. And Tragan's finally going to pause. Gives us the time to give another shout-out to Maddie Durant. Set the Wasatch High School 200-meter record this week at the Alpha Invitational at 25.1 second 200. That record was originally held by Ashley Whiting and was set in 2000. So a 22-year record goes down. Tragan Shaw's going to get a hold of this one, and it's another single to the right side. Ball's bobbled a little bit by the right fielder, but he does a good job of getting it in. Jack Bluth will hold at third base. And now this ball's going to get away from the first baseman. They tried to back pick it first, and Jack Bluth will come in and score, moving the score to 7-0. Great job there from Tragan Shaw, right on the barrel with that one, and Wasatch continues to produce singles. That's now 8 hits for Wasatch and 7 runs as Jack Bluth comes in with his second run of the game.
Man, Wasatch is just swinging it so well right now, Tyler. I want to take a minute to go over a few stats if we can while we got a little break in action. This Wasatch team as a team is hitting .351 on the year, and that number is climbing quickly in this ball game as they've already got 8 hits in 1 1/3 innings. Your leading hitters as far as average goes, right now this one looks really good. Hitting 1,000 is Gage Sheesh, 1 for 1 on the year, Tyler. Jaxon Sorenson in his 9 plate appearances, 5 official at-bats. He's hitting 600 for Wasatch. But then when you get down into the more consistent guys that are in the lineup, here are the ones that are kind of leaning up here. Chet Wilson at 486, Jackson Bolender 444, Alex Gutierrez, he's not got a huge sample size either, Tyler, only 5 official at-bats, he's hitting 400, Bluth at 387, Crew Erickson 368, Peyton Swap 367, Tragan Shaw was 364 before that last single, and so this is a team that's got a lot of guys hitting very well.
It's going to be a ground ball to the second baseman. Double play opportunity is in time, and Wasatch is retired on the double play ball to the second baseman by Carter Bucad, but Wasatch still able to push 2 runs across, and they take the 7-0 lead as they score 2 runs on 4 hits, no walks. 1 runner is going to be left on base as Wasatch takes the 7-0 lead into the bottom half of the second. You're listening to 94.5 The Peak.
Hi, this is Abby Covarrubias, the Wasatch High School Student Body President. Did you know that parents are the #1 reason kids don't drink? Believe it or not, teens still listen to their parents. In fact, kids usually listen to their parents more than anyone else, including their friends. Utah kids report the #1 reason they choose not to drink is their parents' strong disapproval. All kids need a parent's help to stay drug and alcohol free. Brought to you by Wasatch Behavioral Health and the Parent Bonding Project.
Napa know-how.
Your local Napa Auto Parts, Wasatch Auto Parts at 105 North Main Street in Heber City stocks auto parts, tools and equipment, and many other items for heavy-duty trucks, marine, and farming equipment. Stop in today at Wasatch Auto Parts, 105 North Main Street in Heber City, a proud sponsor of Wasatch Wasps Sports.
Napa know-how.
5, 4, 3, 2.
KTMP, Heber City, and live sports coverage with Ty and Ty.
You're listening to Wasatch High School baseball, bottom of the second inning at Cottonwood, where Wasatch leads 7-0. Wasatch has put the Physical of the Fifth Stop offense to work here today. Physical of the Fifth Stop is your locally owned and operated physical therapy clinic serving you from head to toe, including vertigo to sports injuries, serving Heber Valley for over 40 years. Wasatch already with 8 hits and 7 runs on the board. They are in a groove right now. That makes it 54-9 over the last 4+ games. Wasatch has outscored their opponents.
Casey Anderson still on the mound for the Wasps, gave up no runs on 2 hits in the first. Leadoff hitter for Cottonwood, Saran, a senior, playing left field, hitting from the left-hand side, .348 batting average, 6 RBIs on the year for Saran. He's going to swing and foul off the pitch number 2. So 1-1 count's not going to be a curveball that he's way ahead of. It's going to go out of play into the tennis courts behind us as Casey now ahead 1-2. Casey into the windup, delivers the 1-2. It's going to be a fastball out of the zone, reset at 2-2. Shutout of the boys and girls lacrosse teams, both of them with 2 wins on the year. The boys lacrosse team plays tonight at East High School. Curveball, swung on the miss. Second strikeout of the game for Casey Anderson as he retires the leadoff guy for Cottonwood. It's going to bring up the third baseman, a senior, Green, .297 batting average with 9 RBIs on the year. This 7-8-9 looks to be threatening. .297, .304, .306.
That's one thing Cottonwood's done traditionally here, Tyler, is they load the bottom of their lineup. It's been a program thing that has been done down here. Actually, how they won a state title a handful of years ago, it was their 7-8-9 hitters that got the job done for them.
Man, free swinging, though, as he takes ball 1 and then swings at a ball in the dirt. That slider for Casey has got Cottonwood fooled right now. A lot of swings and misses on the slider. Moves count to 1-1.
More action in the bullpen for Cottonwood as well, getting another lefty loose.
Ground ball to Bucad. Bucad comes across, throws across the diamond. Zimmerman stretches, makes the catch, and Wasatch has the first 2 guys retired on the ground ball to Bucad.
Bucad, he doesn't have numbers that are going to jump out at you if you look at the stat sheet, Tyler, but he is really coming along nicely for this Wasatch team. The range that he has shown both glove side and backhand side at short has been really, really good, and his arm strength has really developed between his freshman and sophomore year. Remember, only a sophomore for Wasatch. And in the box, Tyler, after the first almost 10 games, he was hitting well below 500. Now he's up to nearly 250. He's been one of the hottest hitters for Wasatch here in the last 4 to 5 games.
Fastball down the middle for strike one. Now a curveball bounces before the plate, so 1-1 count. The hitter for Cottonwood is Fox, a sophomore. Catching today, 304 batting average and 5 RBIs. I want to give a shout out to Coach Martindale, Ty, at Wasatch, tuning in today. This ball swung on. It's going to be elevated to left center field. Crew Erickson going back to his left. Payton going back to his right. Crew Erickson calls off Payton at the last second and makes kind of a Willie Mays Hayes catch down at his waist. But Wasatch does retire the side. 1, 2, 3.
That was the right call from Crew to call that. Payton looked a little lost in the wind on that one, and Crew came over and got it, Ty.
Cottonwood, no runs on no hits, no errors as they go down in order. We'll move to the top half of the third. Wasatch leads 7-0.
Hi, friend. Are you ready for your next delicious meal? Come to the Dairy King, home of the train, where they're serving the yummiest food to friends and family in the valley. Come in and get a mouth-watering peach shake, peach cobbler shake, or peach raspberry shake. Dairy King, the winner of the Best of State for 18 years. They're celebrating their 75th anniversary. Bring a picture and a memory of being at Dairy King. Proudly serving the Heber Valley for 75 years. The Dairy King, home of the train, is serving deliciousness daily. Stop in today.
Timberline Ace Hardware is your full-line Benjamin Moore paint store. Visit them for your home projects, business-to-business, and contractor needs. And remember to ask about their delivery services. And they're looking for some cashiers. Apply today. And get your Carhartt wear, your cool outdoor clothing, and Wrangler jeans. Timberline Ace Hardware, located west of the Wasatch Wasps football stadium at 737 South Main Street, serving the Heber Valley for over 50 years.
This is live coverage of Wasatch High School sports on 94.5 The Peak.
To Cottonwood High School, where Wasatch is leading 7-0. Tyler, your headset over here. You thought you were. We had the commercials playing, and you were panicked over there, thinking there was nothing on the air. But Wasatch,
I was supposed to be on the air. That was what was wrong. Is I thought there should be something on. I forgot it was me.
We're here. You kept pointing at me like there should be something going on. I said, just unmute the button over there.
That's me.
But Wasatch is playing well here, top of the third inning, and the Wasps are leading 7-0 over Cottonwood High School. And yes, you heard that right. Yeah. That's a pretty impressive score here so far for the Wasps. Tyler, the third inning action is going to be brought to you by, I've got my papers all mixed up over here now. This one's the Wasatch Napa Auto Parts. It's going to be the sponsor of the third inning. Wasatch Napa Auto Parts stocks tools, power equipment, trucks, marine, and farming equipment supplies. Stop on in today at Wasatch Napa Auto Parts, located on Main Street in Heber City.
Craig McPhee will lead it off for the Wasps. He got hit by pitch on his first at bat, right in the elbow, after falling down 2 strikes. Going to be another pitcher once again for Cottonwood. Pitcher is Smith, a junior. And Craig's going to take a fastball right over the shortstop's head to get things going as Wasatch continues to hit the ball well. Another single for Wasatch. Smith on the season, only 2 innings pitched, and Craig jumped on a fastball there.
That's his best swing of the season, Tyler. That was a really good barrel there from Craig. Stayed inside of it. He has a tendency to be a little bit of a pull hitter, but that time he kept that one right up the middle, line drive, kind of left center gap, keeping the hands inside that. That's a great swing.
He's going to bring up the leadoff hitter. Crew's going to go with the drag bunt down the third base side, and this one's perfect, Ty. That's not going to be in time. Cray thinks about going first to third. Third baseman does a good job of getting back. But yet another single as a drag bunt single for Crew, and Wasatch has their first 2 guys on base with Chet and Payton, the 2 leading RBI guys for Wasatch, up now with nobody out.
Ty, Coach Jacobson's clearly been working with these guys on the bunting, but I got to throw you a bone here, too. That's something you talked to Crew a lot about last year and said that's a weapon that you need to develop. You'll be able to get a lot of base hits if you can develop that drag bunt. And, man, he's done a lot, hasn't he, over the offseason to jump up and make that such an effective tool. He was okay last year with his bunting, but he has been awesome this year, getting that ball right down the third base line and using that speed to his advantage. Now, if you can teach him to do it left-handed, that would only be better.
Tad Sulzer is going to come into the game with the speed up. Well, wouldn't be surprised to see another one here, Ty. You got back-to-back good bunters in the lineup. We'll see if he lets Chet swing or if they go bunt again. Chet, fastball doesn't bunt, and it's going to be a ball, so 1-0 count. Looks down at Coach Jacobson. Wasatch has built a 7-0 lead here in the top of the third. Smith, again a junior, throwing from the left-hand side. This time Chet's going to go ahead and square. First baseman's going to come in, and it will be low and outside for ball 2. That first baseman coming in hard on this one. Wasatch likes to go slash as well. Wouldn't be surprised to see Chet pull back and try to swing at one. Big hole over there on the left-hand side and on the right-hand side on the infield. Chet's going to square. Couple of looks at second base from Spencer. The 2-0 pitch comes in, high and outside, ball 3.
Well, this Cottonwood team hasn't quite been blitzed like this year, Tyler. When you look up and down their schedule here, they've had some tough games. Jordan got them 12-2 in that one, but nothing else has really gotten away from them. Their only other big loss was Cedar Valley earlier this week, got them 12-6. But they haven't had a game like this where a team has just jumped on them the way Wasatch has, already leading 7-0, 10 hits on the board, and we have just started the third inning. Wasatch with the bases juiced now after a walk to Wilson, and your best hitter coming up in Peyton Swap as far as power goes. Swap could knock this easily to a double-digit lead on one swing of the bat.
Second walk of the game for Chet. As mentioned, Peyton Swap up, walked his first at bat, popped up to right field in his second. Pitch is in there, swung on. This one's laced down the left field line, but it's foul. Good barrel there from Peyton. A little bit ahead, though, of that curveball. Nobody out. Top of the third, Wasatch leads 7-0. One strike to Swap. Swung at the first pitch. A curveball, got a little bit ahead of it. Still a decent barrel, but went foul. Spencer takes a look at Erickson at second. Now delivers another curveball. It's going to be inside out, swing to right field. Long run for Stinson, but he makes the catch. But that's going to be good enough to score Tad Sulzer. So give a sac fly RBI to Peyton Swap there. Crew will advance to third base as well. So we'll have first and third, one out, and another RBI. That's now 13 RBIs for Peyton Swap on the year.
That's a good play from Stinson over there. I thought that ball was getting down, Tyler. They had him shaded. The way they'll say this is they were playing him straight up, but what that means is the right fielder is aligned with where second base is. And so he's 90 feet off of the line there, and that ball was flirting with the right field line. Stinson had to run a long way to go get that, but he did. Covered a lot of ground, but no momentum at all to turn around and have any play at home plate.
He's going to bring up Cole Zimmerman, the number 4 hitter. He had a nice single through the 5-6 hole in his last at bat. He's going to swing and go to that same spot. Ty, shortstop dives, gets a hold of it, but he's got no play anywhere. Second single of the game. Cole Zimmerman's having himself a nice game. Had a sacrifice bunt in his first. Had an RBI, a single in that one, and now an RBI single in his third at bat. 2 for 2 with an RBI for Cole Zimmerman. Leads now 9. Alex Gutierrez is going to pinch hit now for Jack Bluth. Alex Gutierrez on the year has had minimal just opportunities. He's had the numerous plate appearances, but he walked a lot in his first plate appearances, has gotten some pitches in his last ones, hitting .400 with 2 RBIs, was 1 for 3 with an RBI yesterday. He did get the start at the designated hitter position. Jaxon Sorenson as well is going to pinch hit right afterwards for Jackson Bolender. Smith, couple of looks. Now delivers. Swung on out of the zone and way ahead of it. That's going to be the first strike. One out here in the top of the third. Wasatch leads 9-0, 11 hits for Wasatch in these first 3 innings. Gutierrez again, a couple of RBIs, has an RBI opportunity here. Chet bouncing back and forth. That ball's going to be down in the zone. Chet, good reads, going to stay at second. Zimmerman will stay at first. Wasatch with runners on first and second. Third inning brings you our Wasp on campus. If you didn't tune in yesterday, Mackley McPhee just suffered an injury, but she had gotten off to a great start. Tied 383 batting average, 2 doubles, 7 RBIs. Was really playing well for Salt Lake Community College before getting injured a couple weeks ago. Pitch is going to be inside for ball 2. Moves the count to 2-1.
Yeah, she was actually at the game yesterday watching younger brother Cray. Had a chance to talk to her a little bit, Tyler, and she was of course a little disappointed, and she was so modest about it. I said, it seemed like you were having a really good year. She's like, I was doing okay. I said, well, weren't you hitting almost 400? She was like, yeah, I was doing all right. And
That's all right.
She's a great player down there. Disappointed that she's hurt, but she says she should be able to get healthy and be back for next year.
2-1 pitch is swung on and fouled back. Again, Alex a little bit ahead on his timing. It's going to bring the count to 2-2. Some other ones we mentioned, Nick Greenhot had a good day on Tuesday for Vassar College. Former first baseman for the Wasps went 2 for 2 with 2 home runs. He's now hitting .294 on the year with 5 RBIs out at New York. And then Noah Turley down at Arizona, 5 home runs on the year for the Pac-12. 2-strike swing is fouled off, kind of a protect the play swing there from Alex Gutierrez, but he stays alive. Runner on second is Chet Wilson. Runner on first, Cole Zimmerman. Zimmerman 2 for 2 with a sac bunt and an RBI today. Alex Gutierrez, his first at bat. Jack Bluth was 2 for 2 with 2 RBIs. Alex Gutierrez is going to swing. It's going to be a ground ball to second baseman. Double play opportunity here for Cottonwood. Is it in time? Not in time. So Wasatch will stay alive in the inning. Almost back-to-back innings of double plays ending it, but Wasatch stays alive. And now Jaxon Sorenson gets an opportunity. His first at bat today. He got the start at second base yesterday. Took advantage of it. On the game yesterday was 1 for 2 with 3 RBIs and 2 runs scored.
This is a good move. I feel like Jaxon Sorenson could eat this pitcher alive here. The way his hands have been, Tyler, he's been really quick, nice smooth stroke, but he's got some great power as well. This is a good spot to get him a look and get him in a bat. Again, he's actually one of the best averages for Wasatch, hitting .600, but it has been in limited opportunities. 9 plate appearances on the year for Jaxon.
Hitting for Jackson Bolender, who was 2 for 2 with a single to the right side and then an RBI single over the third baseman's head in his last at bat. Sorensen will take ball 1. Extra base hits today brought to you by Gravity Coalition, offering the best in bikes, skis, snowboards, skateboards, and more in the Heber Valley. Personalized service, sales, and repair for the gear you love. Gravity Coalition in Midway, Utah, or gravitycoalition.com. This is a cool shop. Sorensen will swing and foul off the 1-0 pitch, moves the count to 1-1. 2 outs here in the top of the third. Wasatch leads 9-0. Runners on first and third for the Wasps. Smith, lefty, delivers the 1-1. Swung on. It's going to be a ground ball to the third baseman, and another single for Jaxon Sorenson. Another RBI single as that ball's hit right on the money. As Wasatch continues to pour it on, that's now a double-digit lead, 10-0 here in the top of the third.
Well, this is interesting because Casey Anderson has it humming on the mound right now, and I think Wasatch was planning on getting a little bullpen action for a few other guys, but now at this point, they've got to start thinking, well, how do we manage it for a mercy rule situation? You know, we're in the third inning, and if Wasatch is able to maintain a double-digit lead, they would only have 3 innings left to go with the pitching. That's a great problem to have, though, if you're a coach.
Tragan Shaw comes up. Fielder's choice ground out in his first at bat, but then singled in the 3-4 hole in his last at bat. Came into today hitting .364 with 6 RBIs, and that's another RBI with 2 outs that Wasatch is able to produce on that last single by Jaxon Sorenson. Tragan Shaw is going to swing on this one, elevates it, and it's going to go foul down the right field side. Again, ahead of it. We've seen these Wasatch's hitters be ahead of Smith. Smith not coming with near the velocity that the former 2 pitchers had. But Wasatch has been able to adjust and still producing hits. I'll tell you what, Ty, I'm still seeing, I still have nightmares of 21 runs that Wasatch gave up against Cottonwood. So you're talking about bullpen and all that, and I'm still like, whoa, it's Cottonwood. You know, it's 10 runs going to be enough against these guys. Tragan gets fooled on that one, swings at one in the dirt.
Ty, that Cottonwood team was so good, though.
I know.
They had there. If you remember, they had a kid that ended up going out to play at Kentucky. They had a couple more that were playing in the Pac-12 at Utah, BYU. That was a loaded team. They ended up winning the state title with those same players the very next year that didn't graduate. They had a couple kids. One was pitching at UVU. One got drafted. I mean, that team was fully loaded. This is not the same Cottonwood team, but it's the same program that's producing good talent. The starting pitcher is a University of Utah commit, and Wasatch chased him in the first inning.
1-2 count is swung on and fouled back. So still 2 outs, 1-2, runners on first and second. Wasatch with a 10-run lead. Smith, one look at Gutierrez, now delivers. Fastball up in zone. Tragan does a good job of fouling it off. Quality at bat here from Tragan. And we'll reset still with runners on first and second.
There were some unique moments in that game. If you remember, Cottonwood brought in the kid that ended up going to play at Kentucky. His name was Dunn, and he had a torn hamstring. You remember?
Oh, yeah,
and
that's right.
I don't know how you can hit with a torn hamstring. Well, he got in the box, and looking at that 380 sign in left center, he put it about 75 feet over that sign. But because he had a torn hamstring, another foul ball here from Tragan, he couldn't get around the bases. So he was very slowly hobbling, and as he came around third base, he's apologizing to the Wasatch coaching staff, saying, "I promise I'm not trying to showboat. I just can't move." And that made it worse. You know, like this kid with a torn hamstring just hit the ball 500 feet off of you, it seems like.
Tragan again with 3 straight foul balls with 2 strikes. Doing a good job of battling here. The 1-2 again delivered. And this one smoked to right field. Is right fielder going to get over to it? Does. Good play there from Stinson. Good barrel from Tragan Shaw. Comes up short, though, as Wasatch, though, still able to add more runs as Wasatch scores in the inning. I just canceled out a bit, Ty.
You did it again.
I did it again.
iPad. You know, I'm working so hard on that over here.
I know. You've got 3 devices over there, and I'm just not doing a good enough job for you.
Help you. I think
three runs on 4 hits, no errors, 2 are left on base as Wasatch has built a commanding 10-0 lead. Casey Anderson trots back out onto the mound. We'll have the bottom of the third. You're listening to 94.5 The Peak.
The 50s produced some great sound. That early rock and roll triggered so much emotion for so many. Here's another sound from that era. The dental drill triggers a whole different set of emotions. The sounds, the smells, feeling out of control, whatever keeps you from the dentist at Dorius Dental, we get it. We focus on the little things. Distract yourself with your favorite episode of The Office, or crank up the 80s or 90s and let it take you back to another time. At Dorius Dental, we are sensitive to your needs. We are taking care of the little things so you can move on to more enjoyable things. Located in Gateway Plaza, Heber City.
You might be used to having someone ask you the question, what is it that you need? I think that's limiting. I'm going to take you through a 6-step process, and it's simply answering questions. And it might not just be home. It might be that you want that fancy new car. It might be that you want trips. It's your list. What is it that you really, really want?
Call Tom Stone at Guild Mortgage in Heber City.
Tom Stone, MLS 257849. Guild Mortgage Company is an equal housing lender. MLS 3274. All loans are subject to underwriter approval. Terms and conditions may apply. Subject to change without notice. This is live coverage of Wasatch High School sports on 94.5 The Peak.
Bottom of the third brought to you by Gravity Coalition, offering the best in bikes, skis, snowboards, skateboards, and more in the Heber Valley. Personalized service, sales, and repair for the gear you love. Gravity Coalition, Midway, Utah, or gravitycoalition.com. This is a cool shop. Casey Anderson still on the mound for the Wasps, but we do have some defensive substitutions. Tad Sulcer will enter the game in right field for Tragan Shaw. At second base, Alex Gutierrez will come into the game for Jack Bluth. And the rest will stay the same. Cardbacod still at short, Chet Wilson at third, Zimmerman at first, Payton Swap in center, Crew Erickson in left, and Craig McPhee behind the dish. Leading off the inning will be the second baseman, Snow, senior. 306 batting average, 9 RBIs. You mentioned it, Ty. They like to produce down at the bottom of the lineup. Good hitter here. He's going to swing and foul off the first pitch, fall down 0-1. Casey, only 2 hits given up. Faced 8 batters in the first 2 innings. No runs. Comes back-to-back fastballs. Gets up in the count 0-2. The slider's been good for Casey against the Cottonwood team that likes to swing early in the count. Did they call that last one a ball? I thought he turned and called that a strike. Scoreboard says 1-1. I thought he called that a strike. Pitch. This one swung on and fouled off. I think that got a hold of somebody, but now there's 2 strikes.
Yeah, Craig, that was the old catcher foul ball where he was coming up a little bit early and it nicked his throwing hand coming by there. The umpire saw it and wants to give him a little bit of time here.
Good job from the umpire. Pausing the action brought to you by Mirror Lake Station. Best donuts in Utah. Mirror Lake Station is your stop for gas, groceries, and goodies. Legendary owners, David and Kristen Wade, invite you to swing by and say hello this season at Mirror Lake Station in Camas.
Yeah, one of the Wasatch baseball greats, Dave Wade, owner there at Mirror Lake Station, back supporting his alma mater.
Fastball up in the zone, moves the count to 2-2.
Dave was a great catcher for Wasatch, and the story that we've mentioned already on the air before in games past, Ty, another foul ball, is he wasn't a first-team All-Stater, though, even though he was worthy of it in almost any other year. Wasatch has not produced a lot of major league talent from the state. That was the year they did. The catcher out of Taylorsville, Buck, became a major league all-star with the Toronto Blue Jays. He was a journeyman, but that's who David was behind.
Yeah.
Two good catchers in the state that year.
2-2 count, swung on. This one's going to get a good barrel to left side. He's going to push Crew Erickson back to the wall, and Crew makes the catch on the warning track. Good swing there from Snow, but it results in another out as Wasatch has now gone through the lineup one time. We'll go back to the top of the order. Burke has one of the two hits that Cottonwood has in the ballgame. He had a single up the middle in his first at bat.
Yeah, these first 3 to 4 guys were swinging early and trying to get something they could handle. Didn't matter what it was, Tyler, so I'd expect them to be aggressive this second time through. But Wasatch playing with a 10-run lead, Anderson can just keep coming at him at this point now.
Another line drive swing, and it's going to go to the left fielder. Crew Erickson getting some action out there. He's going to settle underneath it. Canicorn catch, and Wasatch has the first two guys retired once again here in the the bottom of the third.
Those are both putouts by Crew Erickson, but those are not similar barrels. Crew, the first one, had a chance to get out of the park. That one you thought was maybe going to fall down in front of him because he had been driven back on the pitch before.
It's going to bring up the number 2 here. He's going to swing at the first pitch. It's going to be fouled down the third base side. Feel hitting from the left side. Had a fielder's choice ground out to the second baseman in his first at bat. 295 hitter coming into today's game. 14 RBIs. Comes up with 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Nobody on base. Goes with his slider, doesn't get him to chase it down one, so we're going to reset at 1-1.
It feels at the point in this game, Tyler, doesn't it, that Wasatch is taking the life away from Cottonwood a little bit. You know, they buried him over there, and Cottonwood's not putting up as competitive at bats, not a lot of energy coming over from that dugout. And Wasatch is doing what good teams do. They have taken the will away from the other team by jumping out to a 10-0 lead, and we're only in the third inning right now.
Well, to put in perspective, Ty, Wasatch has been through their lineup 3 times. This is just the second at bat for the number 2 hitter for Cottonwood. He falls down 1-2. The pitch, curveball way outside. We'll reset at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Again, Wasatch leads 10-0 on the Cottonwood Colts. The 2-2. Got it on the outside corner. 3 strikeouts now for Casey Anderson as Wasatch retires the side for the second straight time. Wasatch Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine, your rehabilitation specialist, dedicated to your total recovery from sports injuries, auto injuries, industrial and or commercial injuries. Let Dan Ivey and his team get you back to 100%. No runs on no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. Wasatch leads 10-0 going into the top of the 4th.
Hi, this is Nicole with Mountain Refined Furnishings and Flooring, and if you didn't know, we've recently partnered with Mattress Warehouse of Utah to bring you the largest selection of mattresses around. The team at Mountain Refined prides themselves on making your home a place where you love to be. We offer a large selection of furnishings, flooring, window treatments, gifts, decor, and so much more. If you haven't been by lately, stop and check it out. You'll be pleasantly surprised. We're located at 480 North Main Street.
Heber City Point S is locally owned and operated by Larry Rhodes and Brad Hyatt. They offer the best brand tires at low prices with extensive knowledge and experience of repair and services with no pressure sales. Only what you need. They've been taking care of cars, trucks, and trailers for over 20 years. No appointment needed, conveniently located, free shuttle service, and free Wi-Fi. Take $5 off your next visit when you tell them 94.5 The Peak sent you over. That's Heber City Point S.
Gucci Goo Barbecue in Heber Valley is a premier barbecue restaurant. You can choose from finger-licking ribs, poppin' andouille sausage, tasty chicken, tender brisket, delicious pork, and yummy street tacos. Friday night dates, take that significant other for the smoked prime rib that melts in your mouth. Family-friendly atmosphere where everyone is welcome, quick service for dine-in or takeout, Great quality food and great value for your money. That's Gucci Goo in Midway on Main Street.
5, 4, 3, 2.
KTMP, Heber City, and live sports coverage with Ty and Ty.
Fourth inning action brought to you by Wasatch Behavior Health. Founded in 1967 to provide mental health care for all individuals within Utah and Wasatch counties, Wasatch Behavior Health is a comprehensive community behavioral health center. We offer any array of programs and services for children's, teens, and adults. Carter Bucod is going to lead off the inning for the Wasps. He's going to get a hold of this one. It's going to push the left fielder back to the warning track, but the left fielder, Sorenson, settles underneath it, and Bucod is retired. 1 for 3 now on the day. Had a single in his first at-bat, grounded into a double play in his second, and flies out here in his third at-bat. Craig McPhee's going to come up, had a nice single over the shortstop's head. Last at-bat. Smith's going to actually start the fourth. This is the first time we've seen the same pitcher start 2 innings consecutively for Cottonwood. Wasatch with 12 hits, 10 runs in the ball game, compared to 2 hits and no runs for Cottonwood. Craig gets underneath this one. It's going to be a lazy pop fly to the shortstop. Shortstop's going to call off the third baseman. And for the first time today, Wasatch has their first 2 guys retired in the inning.
Well, Wasatch they've heard your complaints, Tyler, saying, hey, get that 10-run lead and then hurry and end it so I can get home a little early.
That's part of it, but it's going to bring up Jaxon Sorenson, pinch hit for Crew.
A few more here still if you're Wasatch.
Yeah, again, 21 runs is what we saw this team put up.
we owe them a few is what you're saying.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah. Jaxon Sonson's going to come up to the plate for the Wasps. He'll pinch hit for Crew Erickson. Jaxon Sorenson on the year, hitting 200, 1 triple and 2 RBIs. Got this, well, would have been a save, but it wasn't close enough. He's going to wait on a curveball, and he's going to push it to the right side, and Wasatch is going to be retired in order. 1, 2, 3, as that ball is caught by the right fielder, Stinson. As we move into the bottom half of the fourth, no runs on no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. You're listening to 94.5 The Peak.
Dan Sluga at Wasatch Bag Flooring is extending his services to include quality paint products to complete your home remodeling needs. Locally owned and operated, Dan and his team can help you find the right flooring for your home with quality products from Mohawk, Shaw, Target, Godfrey Hirst, and many more. Since 2009, they've been exceeding their customers' needs by helping them select flooring that fits both their lifestyle and budget. They've got you covered at Wasatch Bag Flooring and Paints.
Wasatch Back Grill and Deli is a family-owned and operated business serving great food and customer service in Heber City and Midway for over 7 years. For a burger with kick, try the Firehouse. Have a hankering for some seafood? Try fish and chips. Or try the Mandarin chicken salad. Their homemade recipes, freshly grilled burgers and sandwiches are complemented with unique sauces and homemade sides. They provide the best experience and highest quality food. Stop by today and try their great menu items. As a thank you to teachers, first responders, medical personnel, and military, get 15% off meals all year round.
And now, back to the action. Wasatch High School Sports on 94.5 The Peak.
Bottom of the fourth brought to you by Dorius Dental. Dorius Dental offers no surprises of dental treatment with Dr. Dorius and Dr. Proctor. Let Dorius Dental make your mouth smile. Learn more at DoriusDental.com. Time for a scoreboard update here in the bottom of the fourth. Wasatch leads 10-0. 12 hits for Wasatch in the game to 2 for Cottonwood. Wasatch got things going off early with 5 runs in the first, 2 runs in the second, 3 runs in the third, then went out in order 1, 2, 3 in the top half of the fourth, and that brings us to the bottom of the fourth. Garrett Baxter into the game for the Wasps. Good outing for Casey Anderson, 3 innings pitched, no runs, 2 hits, 3 Ks, no walks for the senior. And we'll see what Garrett Baxter has here. Garrett's been good on the mound as far as the control. Coming in, 3 innings pitched, 2.33 ERA, no strikeouts and only 3 walks. He's given up 5 hits. In the warm-ups.
I like these innings for Garrett, Tyler. You're exactly right. He's been a strike thrower for Wasatch, and that's been at a premium a little bit. Wasatch has been pretty good at the top of their order, but even then, you look at like a Jackson Bolender and Jaxon Sorenson, their walks hits per inning pitch is up a little bit because Wasatch just struggled to throw strikes across the board here as a team. Garrett Baxter doesn't fit into that category. When he's come in, he's done very well as far as base on balls and just staying in the zone and throwing a lot of strikes. His ERA on the season is actually the best on the team, Tyler. 2.33 is the ERA. Right behind him is Jaxon Sorenson at 2.4. Definitely a difference in innings pitched. Garrett only 3 innings pitched. Jackson 17 innings pitched there between the two, but Baxter's been good for him. 3 walks on the year for Garrett.
Yeah, he does have a win on the year as well. He got the win against Carbon down in St. George that first weekend. Leadoff hitter is going to be Nielsen, best hitter on the team, 513 batting average. He's going to swing at the first pitch. This ball's elevated to right center. Peyton Swap's going to come underneath it, has to battle the wind. The wind's kind of swirling a little bit, but Peyton goes underneath it, and 1 pitch, 1 out here for Garrett Baxter.
Well, Nelson's an excellent player, Tyler, but 2 pitches is all he's seen in the game. The University of Utah commit, he's an aggressive player. He wants to get after it early. He was the starting pitcher, got chased in the first inning, and now he's 1 for 2 with a single and a fly out.
It's going to bring up Dozy, the number 4 hitter, 280 on the year, struck out looking in his first at bat. 1 home run and 6 RBIs coming into the game. Baxter throws a ball, now ball 2, 2-0 count. Crew Erickson comes back into the game after Jaxon Sorenson pitch hit for him. Crew will re-enter in left. So your outfield, Tad Sulzer, Peyton Swap, and Crew Erickson. Your infield, your starting infield, except for Alex Gutierrez, comes into the game at second base for Jack Bluth. Another ball low in the zone, brings the count to 3-0. Missing down, though, is right, something you like to see as a pitching coach. If you're going to miss down in the zone. 3-0. Garrett out of the windup, delivers the 3-0 up in the zone, and that's going to be the first walk of the game for the Wasatch pitching staff after walking or hitting 14 guys yesterday in that Westlake game.
It's hard to believe when you say it, isn't it, when they won 14-4 but walked.
As a former pitching coach of this team, if you have a game like that, it's nice to come back with a guy like Casey, right, that you know is going to fill up the zone and not have too many walks. And he did a good job, no walks through 3 innings here in this ball game. It's going to bring up the right fielder Stinson. Stinson's had some good plays out defensively. He's going to take ball 1. 423 batting average and 2 homers on the year. Grounded out at the second baseman in his first at bat. It was a good play from Jack Bluth. Jack Bluth had to go all the way into the hole of his glove side, fielded it clean, and had to get rid of it quick. 5 straight balls from Baxter. Delivers this one. That's a strike. And Wasatch now moves 1-1 count with 1 out with a runner on first. First base runner for Cottonwood since the first inning. Wasatch had retired 7 straight hitters in the second, third, and then the leadoff guy here in the fourth.
Yeah, good job from Garrett to come back there. There's a difference when you're pitching with a lead. You can just come right at the guys.
A little off-speed pitch, going to be a lazy ground ball to second base. Alex Gutierrez comes up too early, and that's going to go through his legs as Wasatch has their first error. And that's going to get another base runner on for Cottonwood, first and third with 1 out.
That's too bad, Tyler. That ball was a capper. It hit off the cap and was kind of bouncing like a pinball machine coming out there, but it wasn't an aggressive ball at all. Slow moving. Alex tried to attack it, but just never really got comfortable with the ball coming in all kinds of different directions at him. Snuck right through the legs.
Brings up the left fielder, Salon, a senior. Struck out in his first at bat. Thinks about swinging at that one, but instead's going to take strike 1. Still only 2 hits on the game for Cottonwood, but they are threatening here in the bottom of the fourth to get their first run across. Good lead for Stinson. He's got good speed as well. He's going to take off. Ball low in the zone. Gray decides against the throwdown, and so now we have runners on second and third with a 1-1 count here to Saran, who's got 6 RBIs on the year. Lefty. That's where Saran's hitting. This ball's going to miss high. Moves the count to 2-1. Runners on second and third, 1 out. Wasatch leads 10-0 here in the bottom of the fourth. The 2-1 pitch misses low again, brings the count to 3-1. Bullpen-wise, Wasatch, I believe, does have Bolender available, right? He threw on Monday, but should be enough rest to have him come back and throw a little bit in today's game. He'll start the next game next Friday. So it'll be a bullpen day probably for Bubbles. You'll see him come in and close. Baxter's going to miss low and away. Second walk of the inning for Baxter as that loads the bases now for Green, the third baseman.
Yeah, so this is an important moment in this game here, though, Tyler. Wasatch up 10-0. Your mercy rule was into effect, but that runner on third obviously would keep that game extended through beyond 5 innings if Wasatch didn't tack on any more runs here. Now, I do think Wasatch is definitely capable of putting more runs on the board. Cottonwood has gone through a couple of their better pitchers already to this point, and Wasatch has chased him out of the game. So it's not like that number is necessarily just going to sit at 10. But if Cottonwood pushes across 2-3 runs here, it may extend that pitching a little bit farther in this game. Wasatch still sitting comfortable in this one, though.
Bases loaded. Baxter comes back with a strike. Cray took some time to go out and talk to Baxter. Baxter comes back with a strike that swung on and fouled off to the right side. The hitter, again, third baseman Green, a senior, grounded out to the shortstop in his last at bat.
Well, the pitcher's best friend, and Cottonwood's tried to, has accomplished this a couple times, is a good ground ball here, right?
Yeah.
Get a ground ball and a potential double play, and you're out of the inning with no runs.
Swung on, does get the ground ball, but it's going to go foul. Nice little off-speed pitch there from Bax. He's gone with the fastball, but he came back with a little off-speed, fooled the hitter, and that's going to bring up an 0-2 count now with 1 out.
Yeah, that's really the fun strategy to baseball when you get to this point, Tyler, as a catcher, a pitcher, a pitching coach. You can start to try to set up hitters and call pitches in games to get the balance moving in a certain direction to get a ground ball where you want.
Gets this one to elevate to Swap. Swap's got a chance to throw him out. Let's see if he does so. They're not even going to test it. As Swap comes up, throws a nice ball to the plate. Probably would have been safe at home, but a good job there from Baxter. He gets the lazy pop fly to center field, and Wasatch keeps the run off the board for the moment. It's 2 outs now with bases loaded, and it's going to bring up the catcher, sophomore Fox.
Yeah, good job from Garrett there. Garrett Baxter coming in and showing some mental toughness, Tyler. Walks a guy, have an error, walk another guy, but comes back and he keeps throwing strikes, keeps swamping that zone, and that's what we talked about at the start of this inning. Garrett on the season had only thrown in a couple games, but in those games he would come back and throw strikes. He would try to get after it even after there were some mistakes.
Misses with the fastball outside. In his first at bat, Fox flew out to left center field. A good play by Crew Erickson. Had to call out paint swap at the last minute to end the second inning. It was a decent barrel from Fox. Misses low and inside with that one. So 2-0 count, bases loaded, 2 outs. Wasatch to this point has held Cottonwood scoreless. Cottonwood with their best chance here in the bottom of the fourth to get a run across.
Yeah, in the bottom of the first, didn't it look like they were going to keep coming at Wasatch all game, where they started with a couple hits that were really good barrel balls, getting at Wasatch, and Wasatch is just taking the air out of them over the last couple innings. But you felt like after the top of the first when Wasatch scored 5, and then Cottonwood right back blitzed them with a couple good hard hits, that this might be a back and forth game. It hasn't been to this point.
Comes back with a 2-0 fastball for a strike. Then Baxter comes back with an off speed that's fouled off to the right side. So a 2-2 count after falling down 2-0. Baxter now ahead 2-2 with 2 outs, bases loaded. Back sets, deep breath, delivers the 2-2. This one smoked to the left side. That's going to bring in a couple of runs. And just like that, Cottonwood has their first runs on the board on this 2-out, 2 RBI single by the sophomore catcher, Fox.
Yeah, you can see the bottom of the lineup, right, how they can really help you out there. Now the 8-hitter extends it, 9-hitter coming up. And Wasatch definitely doesn't want to get back to the top of the lineup with the bases loaded here. That top of the lineup dangerous. I know I've mentioned this, Tyler, but again, as listeners kind of come in and out, I'm going to go over it again. The Cottonwood lineup has a couple players that are above 400 and one player above, now approaching 600 after another hit here today on the season. They hit in the 1, 2, and 3 holes. Those batters doing the 4 and 5 hole also are pretty solid. So this is a pretty important spot here. You want to get this number 9 hitter out of Cottonwood.
It's going to start with the ball. Gets that one for a strike, though. Moves the count to 1-1. Snow, the second baseman, flew out to left field. His last at bat pushed Crew Erickson back to the warning track on that swing. 9 RBIs on the year for the number 9 hitter. 1-1, low. Cray does a good job of fielding, and he's going to throw it to third base as the catcher took off. Chet running him back to second. Going to get to Carter. Cray comes all the way from home to get back to that bag. Now you can just run him back to second. And so just like that, they do not get him at first. But how about a heads-up play from the right fielder, Tad Sulcer? As the runner on first had advanced to second base, Cole had gone over to help on the rundown at second. Nobody was on first, and Tad Solser comes in from right field. They throw it to Tad, and Wasatch gets out of the inning. Cottonwood does score their first runs of the game. They push across 2 runs on 1 hit, 1 error for Wasatch, and Cottonwood will leave 1 on base. It's a 10-2 lead as we go into the top of the 5th.
Hi, this is Abby Covarrubias, the Wasatch High School Student Body President. Did you know that parents are the #1 reason kids don't drink? Believe it or not, teens still listen to their parents. In fact, kids usually listen to their parents more than anyone else, including their friends. Utah kids report the #1 reason they choose not to drink is their parents' strongest approval. All kids need a parent's help to stay drug and alcohol free. Brought to you by Wasatch Behavioral Health and the Parent Bonding Project.
Napa know-how.
Your local Napa Auto Parts, Wasatch Auto Parts at 105 North Main Street in Heber City stocks auto parts, tools and equipment, and many other items for heavy-duty trucks, marine, and farming equipment. Stop in today at Wasatch Auto Parts, 105 North Main Street in Heber City, a proud sponsor of Wasatch Wasps Sports.
Napa know-how.
This is live coverage of Wasatch High School sports on 94.5 The Peak.
Welcome back to the top of the 5th. Top of the 5th action brought to you by Guild Mortgage. Tom Stone of Guild Mortgage and his team will help you find the perfect mortgage that fits your situation. It will be painless and easy. New arm on the mound for Cottonwood will be number 34, Slagowski, a senior. And I don't have any stats on him this year, so this might be his first outing on the mound. This will be the 4th pitcher for Cottonwood. Nielsen, only 2 thirds innings pitched, gave up 5 runs. Spencer came in and threw 1 1/3 and gave up 2 runs. And then Smith threw the last 2 innings and gave up 3 runs. Wasatch currently with a 10-2 lead as Cottonwood pushed their first 2 runs across in that last one. Chet Wilson will lead off the top of the 5th inning. On the day, a couple of walks and a K. For Chet, he's going to swing at the first pitch. It's going to be fouled to the backstop.
Well, Ty, you're right. Scanning through the Cottonwood stats over here, this is the first appearance of the year for Slagowski. I'll slowly get that one there, Tyler. My mouth couldn't get it out there. And we'll see what he's able to do.
Another change of speed. He's actually a little bit slower than Smith here. Smith threw good from the left side for Cottonwood, only giving up 3. Fastball, and Chet just gets underneath it. We've mentioned that Chet struggles a little bit with the slower speed. It's going to be a pop fly into the Bermuda Triangle, but the shortstop does a good job of coming behind third base and makes the catch. And Wasatch now 4 straight batters retired as the bats have gone to sleep a little bit the last inning and a third.
Yeah, and the wind picking up here too, Tyler. Wasatch is going to have more success trying to stay on line drive and on the ground rather than flying up into a wind that's pushing. It feels like in towards the hitters a little bit.
He's going to bring up Peyton Swap with a fly, two fly outs to right field. His last one, though, was a sacrifice fly for an RBI. He's now got 13 RBIs on the year. He leads the team in that category. He's going to take ball 1. Yeah, it's just kind of been a swirling wind today, Ty. It was pushing out to left field early on. Now it feels like it's coming more at our face. Slagowski sets on the mound, delivers the 1-0. Fastball, again, Payton a little bit off on the timing. It's going to be a ground ball to the shortstop, and shortstop throws it over in time as Wasatch now has 5 straight batters that have been retired.
Well, yeah, it's a tough thing to do for hitters, Tyler, to adjust to such a big change in speed. So much of baseball and hitting is about the timing, and it's hard to come in there if you don't have the timing quite right to get that barrel on plane and get a good barrel hitting back towards the field plate.
Zimmerman having himself a day, though. Sacrifice bunt his first at bat, and then back-to-back singles, one of which produced an RBI. Pushes his average over 300 on the year. Has 10 RBIs as well. Takes ball 1. Slagowski delivers the 1-0. Low, moves the count 2-0. Alex Gutierrez comes into the mound, or on deck. Pinch hit for Jack Bluth back in the 3rd inning. He's played in the field since that time. Slagowski delivers the 2-0. Swung on. This one's driven to the opposite field, and the left fielder just turns and runs the other way. Cole Zimmerman having himself and continues to have himself a day, as he's going to be 3 for 3 with 2 singles and now a double, as Wasatch trying to get something going here with 2 outs here in the top of the 5th.
Yeah, good swing there from Cole. All of those hits going the opposite direction as well, Tyler. And that's when Cole's at his best, when he's locked in, driving the ball the other way. He's got a swing that as a coach you just love. You feel like you can put him anywhere in the lineup, and he's going to be productive and effective in what you're asking him to do.
13 hits now for Wasatch on the day. Had 10 yesterday in the 14-4 victory. He's going to bring up Alex Gutierrez. He was 1 for 3 with an RBI yesterday against Westlake. Has an RBI opportunity here with 2 outs. Zimmerman, okay speed at second base. Gutierrez is going to take the off-speed pitch for a strike. That's a good take.
Yeah, trying to get the hitter timed, or the pitcher, timed up. And then he gives you a different look at the speed with a curveball. You definitely don't want to be offering on that on the first one. Good take from Alex.
Slagowski delivers. Doesn't get that one. That one's a little bit low and outside. Moves the count to 1-1. Zimmerman again 3 for 3 with a sacrifice bunt and an RBI. His swing looks good today for Wasatch. Playing first base, got the win on the mound as well yesterday for Wasatch against Westlake. The 1-1 swung on. It's going to be a lazy fly ball over second base. Second baseman goes out, and Wasatch is retired. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. Wasatch leads 10-2. You're listening to 94.5 The Peak.
Friend, are you ready for your next delicious meal? Come to the Dairy King, home of the train, where they're serving the yummiest food to friends and family in the valley. Come in and get a mouth-watering peach shake, peach cobbler shake, or peach raspberry shake. Dairy King, the winner of the Best of State for 18 years. They're celebrating their 75th anniversary. Bring a picture and a memory of being at Dairy King. Proudly serving the Heber Valley for 75 years. The Dairy King, home of the train, is serving deliciousness daily. Stop in today.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
KTMP, Heber City, and live sports coverage with Ty and Ty.
5th inning stretch brought to you by Guild Mortgage. Stop on into Guild Mortgage for just to be educated, or for any of their mortgage or refinancing options. They'll educate you on what the best option is for you in a market right now that just kind of is confusing, Ty. And so stop on in to the experts at Tom Stone and his team to get the right mortgage for your situation. Wasatch leads 10-2, and I'm going to throw it over to you for a Gordon Law Group game recap so far.
Well, it's been a good one for Wasatch, Tyler. First inning, top of the first, Wasatch jumped out to a 5-0 lead, and they blitzed it. They did a little bit of everything. Crew Erickson got the game started with a double down the line, and then you had several other players chip in. Jack Bluth got a hit. Bolender got a hit. You had a couple base on balls. Wilson found his way on. Swap found his way on. A couple guys got hit by pitches, and they battled through the whole lineup and more in the first inning. And then the Cottonwood got into the box ready to play. They got a couple hits to start the game off, but Wasatch was able to get out of the first inning on the arm of Casey Anderson without giving up any runs. And then Wasatch started cruising from there. Cottonwood not scoring. Then Wasatch put 2 more on the board in the second, and Cottonwood went scoreless, 3 up, 3 down, and then Cottonwood again gave up 3 more runs to Wasatch in the top of the third and didn't score anything. So by the end of the third inning, Wasatch leading 10-0 over Cottonwood. Last inning, Wasatch went scoreless in the top of the fourth, but Cottonwood did tack on 2 runs to keep the mercy rule out of effect to this point in the game, and that brings us to the 5th right now, where Wasatch did not score any runs, and Cottonwood has come up to bat. The standout performers for Wasatch to this point in the game, Tyler, Casey Anderson was excellent on the mound. Went 3 innings pitched, 3 strikeouts, only 2 hits given up. And then in the box, there's been a lot of players that have been good for Wasatch, but Cole Zimmerman, certainly the standout to this point in the game. 3 hits on the day for Cole Zimmerman, and a sacrifice bunt that helped you get a couple more runs in the first inning. So he's kind of making that lead play for the Bank of Utah Offensive Player of the game.
Leadoff hitter is going to be the number 9 hitter, Snow. 306 average on the year. He's going to swing at the 1-1 pitch, and he's going to lace this one to left field for a single. And the leadoff guy is on for Cottonwood. Again, push 2 across in the bottom of the 4th to make the score 10-2, and now they go into the dangerous top half of the lineup. Berg comes up. He had a single in his first at bat. Baxter's going to try a pickoff move over at first. Good job from Cole of staying and keeping that one in play. And we'll reset. Berg lined out to left field, a good barrel in his last at bat as well. 6 RBIs and a home run on the year for Burke, who's playing today at the shortstop position. Baxter delivers. It's going to be a drag butt. Nope, he pulls back as that ball's up in the zone and will reset. 1 ball, no strikes, nobody out here in the bottom of the 5th.
Burke's played a good shortstop over there for Cottonwood today, Tyler, for the most part. And I was a little curious on that because Nielsen, the starting pitcher, is listed as a pitcher shortstop, but his primary position is shortstop. And he's a next level player, as I've talked about, the University of Utah commit. And so I don't think Burke primarily plays at shortstop, but Cottonwood chose not to run Nielsen out there to short, even though he got ran out in the first inning off the mound.
3-0 count now to Burke. Nope, sorry, I missed one. I thought that was 3. Was that 4? 4 straight balls there to Burke, and so the first 2 guys are on now here in the bottom of the 5th inning. It's going to bring up the number 2 hitter, Phil. Fielder's choice ground out in the first inning and then struck out looking in his last at bat. 3 walks now for Baxter in this outing. Phil hitting from the left-hand side, playing center field today for the Colts. Baxter, a couple of looks, delivers. Low and outside. 5 straight balls now for Baxter. Wasatch still with a good lead at 10-2. Baxter takes 1 look, now 2. And delivers the 1-0. Gets it in there for a strike. Baxter's done a good job of coming back after struggling to find the zone. Does so there, moves the count to 1-1.
Yeah, and Cottonwood changing it up a little bit, right? Seeing him struggling, they're taking more pitches, and that's not been the forte of the top of the lineup. 1, 2, and 3 hitters have been swinging early in the game.
He's going to swing at this one, and it's going to be a base hit up the middle. The runner had to freeze. Payne thinks about throwing it to third, but now he'll just throw it to the shortstop. And 1, 2, 3 guys on, and the bases are juiced with nobody out here in the bottom of the 5th. Cottonwood trying to claw their way back in this one. Fell down 10-0, but now find themselves down 10-2 with bases loaded and nobody out.
Well, if you ask Cottonwood, how can we draw up the 5th inning, what it's going to be is let's load them up for our best hitter, Cameron Nielsen, the junior, coming up, hitting .513 on the year, 20 hits on the season.
He's going to swing at the first pitch. He's seen 3 pitches, Ty. He's going to elevate this one to left field. Crew's going to make the good catch, tag up from third, and the runner will score. So a sac fly. But, man, he likes to get in the box and swing. He swings at another one that he's just not on time on. Does get the sac fly and does score a run. Good job from Baxter of getting another out here. So it's 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. 10-3 now the score.
Yeah, I think Wasatch's pitching staff, pitching coach, Coach Watkins, has done a good job exploiting that a little bit. The Nielsen is an overly aggressive hitter, and they've gotten him off balance on the last 2 at-bats.
It's going to bring up Dozie, the number 4 hitter. Failed to put a ball in play yet. He struck out in his first at-bat and walked in his second. He'll take a ball high in the zone. Well, I think if you're the coaching staff, too, you have bases low, nobody out with him up, you'll take a sac fly, right? You'll give up 1 run there. 1 ball, no strikes. Baxter delivers to Dozie. Ball's low and outside, 2-0. It's going to bring a trip to the mound from Coach Watkins. This trip to the mound brought to you by Mirror Lake Station. Voted best donuts in Utah. Mirror Lake Station is your one-stop shop for gas, groceries, and goodies. New owners David and Kristen Wade invite you to swing by and say hello this season. We mentioned Rudy and Donovan a couple of days ago, Ty. Did you hear Rudy's speech on SportsCenter about how him and Donovan don't have any rift and they have the same goal? I'm just curious if you're buying it. You know, we were kind of harsh towards those 2. But according to Rudy, there's nothing wrong. You know, that's it.
No, I don't buy it. Do you expect either of those 2 to be playing with each other 3 years from now?
Let me ask you this, Ty. When Wasatch or when the Jazz had 2 of the best players ever, right, Stockton to Malone, they literally could have trademarked that phrase, Stockton to Malone, right? A little bit more than 3 passes a game between Stockton to Malone. Yeah. And that's what Donovan Mitchell right now averages to Rudy Gobert. I'm just saying, if you're 2 best players, they ought to maybe.
Well, did you see Quinn Snyder's epic rant?
Oh, yeah.
19 minutes where he talked about that issue. And the return to that as Baxter comes out and throws another ball after the mound visit, Ty, is Mitchell's playing the 2-guard spot. It's not his job within the offense to pass in that scenario. Those passes come from the point guard in Mike Conley. And so that was the response there to that. And then when Mitchell is running the point, Gobert often is not on the floor. So I don't know, Ty, but they at least got a couple wins on the board and seem to have stabilized the ship a little bit.
Second walk of the game for Dozie. That's going to load the bases once again with one out this time. Wasatch able to get a sac fly on their last bases loaded opportunity, and now it's going to bring up the number 5 hitter, the right fielder Stinson. Grounded out to the second baseman and then had another ground ball to the second baseman that went through Alex Gutierrez's legs in his last at bat. Good hitter, 2 home runs, 9 RBIs. He can put one out as well. He gets a fastball up in the zone. It's going to be a lazy fly ball to the shortstop. Bucad makes the catch, and once again, one of the best hitters for Cottonwood comes up swinging on the first pitch and can't get the timing down, and Wasatch now has 2 outs with bases loaded.
Well, it sure looks easy to tell what those two wanted to do, doesn't it? They were both trying to elevate that ball and lift it out of the park with the bases loaded. And out of those 2 swings, you only have 1 run. That's a victory for Wasatch.
Going to bring up Saran in his last at bat. He walked as well. He has a strikeout in his first, walk in the second. 6 RBIs on the year. Comes out with the bases loaded, takes ball 1.
Both those approaches, Tyler, I'll be careful, try not to knock them too much, but both those swings are so poor from the Cottonwood players because Baxter is really struggling to find the zone in this inning for Wasatch. And all these other guys have found their way on base because he's giving them free walks on base. And then you get these 2 hitters that come up thinking, I'm going to be the one to break this one open. They swing at balls that maybe aren't right there for them on the first pitch, and you've got 2 pitches and 2 outs there from what you would hope are 2 of your better hitters. And it's just not a good philosophy there if you're Cottonwood. They want to see a few more pitches and try to make Baxter come to them.
Falls down 2-0, comes back with a strike, moves the count to 2-1, but now misses load there. So a 3-1 count, bases loaded, 2 outs here for Cottonwood. Already have 1 run scored in the inning. It's a 7-run lead for the Wasps, 10-3. Baxter sets, delivers the 3-1. He's going to miss again. That's going to walk in a run. Second run of the game, or of the inning. So a 10-4 lead. Baxter has given up 2 runs in both innings now. Casey Anderson threw 3 innings, didn't give up a run. Baxter's now come in, gave up 2 in the 4th, and now has given up 2 in the 5th. And the once 10-run lead has been cut to 6. And that's going to bring up number 14, the third baseman Green. Grounded out to the shortstop and flew out to the center fielder in his last at bat. Baxter delivers high. And another ball moves the count to 1-0. Speaking of riffs, I don't know if you saw that Acuna for the Braves said that he's not going to miss old Freddie Freeman. There was some rift there and some different things that happened between those two, apparently.
I'm sure he wouldn't miss Freddie Freeman, would he? Acuna is quite the flashy showboat player. Freddie's not so much that style. I can't imagine that they saw eye to eye.
Great backhand stop there from Chet Wilson. He'll field it, step on third as Wasatch gets out of the inning. 10-4 now the score. Good job again from Chet at third base. He has shored up that position after struggling early on in the season, but he looks good now. Cottonwood is able to push 2 runs across on 2 hits, no errors, but leave the bases loaded as Wasatch leads 10-4 going into the top of the 6th.
Timberline Ace Hardware is your full-line Benjamin Moore paint store. Visit them for your home projects, business-to-business, and contractor needs. And remember to ask about their delivery services. And they're looking for some cashiers. Apply today. And get your Carhartt wear, your cool outdoor clothing, and Wrangler jeans. Timberline Ace Hardware, located west of the Wasatch Wasps football stadium at 737 South Main Street, serving the Heber Valley for over 50 years.
The 50s produced some great sound. That early rock and roll triggered so much emotion for so many. Here's another sound from that era. The dental drill triggers a whole different set of emotions. The sounds, the smells, feeling out of control, whatever keeps you from the dentist at Dorius Dental, we get it. We focus on the little things. Distract yourself with your favorite episode of The Office, or crank up the 80s or 90s and let it take you back to another time. At Dorius Dental, we are sensitive to your needs. We are taking care of the little things so you can move on to more enjoyable things. Located in Gateway Plaza, Heber City.
This is live coverage of Wasatch High School sports on 94.5 The Peak.
Top of the 6th inning at Cottonwood High School. Wasatch leading Cottonwood 10-4. 6th inning action brought to you by Wasatch Back Grill and Deli. Family-owned and operated business that has been serving Heber Valley For the past 7 years, great food and customer service. Stop on in to Wasatch Back Grill and Deli.
Wasatch brings up Jaxon Sorenson, who singled and had an RBI in his last at-bat. Tad Sulzer will be hitting in the Tragan Shaw spot at the number 2 spot, or on deck, and then in the hole will be Carter Bucad. Sorenson's been good this year on the barrel in almost every single one of his at-bats. Had a single RBI in his last one. Facing Slagowski. Slagowski came in the top of the 5th inning, faced 4 batters, gave up a double to Cole Zimmerman, but no runs, and retired the other 3 batters that he faced. Sorenson's going to take ball 1. Swings at this one, a little bit ahead of it, moves the count to 1-1.
Ty, that last inning went kind of quick. Didn't get your insight there on your Gobert-Mitchell thoughts there as well. You think they're sticking it out together?
Swing and a miss on 1-1, so moves the count to 1-2. You know, I think for whatever reason, Gobert is kind of just a guy that's hard to like around the league. He's always picked last in the All-Star games and just kind of is maybe a polarizing guy. Sorenson's going to swing at the 1-2 and goes down swinging. So the Wasatch Bats continue to struggle after scoring 10 runs in the first 3. Have struggled to produce in the last 2 innings. And now Sorenson will go out with the strikeout. That's only the 2nd strikeout of the game, though, for Wasatch. They've been good at putting the ball in play. Tad Sulzer is now going to get an at-bat, hitting for Tragan Shaw. He's going to lay off of that pitch. It's in the dirt. Bring count to 1-0. So I think that you have a guy like Donovan Mitchell who's a vocal guy, right? Likes to be on Twitter, likes to voice his things, and so when that happens, you're gonna maybe come across, I guess, a little bit like there's some rift. And Gobert's the same way, right? He's not afraid to call out his teammates when he feels like nobody's playing defense. So we got 2 guys that are just vocal and I think competitive. And Sulzer's going to swing at a ball in the dirt. Swings at another one. Slagowski's throwing something that's got the Wasatch hitters off balance. You got Sorenson to swing at it 3 times, and now Sulzer swung at it twice. 5 straight swings and misses for the Wasps. Tad lays off that one. It's off the edge of the plate, moves the count to 2-2.
Don't let it sit in fair territory. Either hold it or let them hold it.
2-2 count. Wasatch leads 10-4. They got out to a 10-0 lead. Have given up 2 runs in the last 2 innings to make this one interesting, but another swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts from Slagowski. This is his first appearance on the mound, and he strikes out 2 straight batters.
Yeah, he may be earning himself a few more innings moving forward in this one, Tyler. Been the best option for Cottonwood on the mound here today.
He's going to bring up Carter Bucad. He singled in his first at-bat, double play in his second, and then flew out on a good swing in his third at-bat to push the left fielder all the way back to the warning track. He's going to take a ball low in the zone. 1-0 the count.
Bucad coming into this at-bat, Tyler hitting .233 on the year.
Takes a ball on the outside, moves the count to 2-0. You know, Slagowski's been able to get guys swinging, but he hasn't thrown a lot of strikes over the plate. A lot of those balls that Wasatch is swinging at are low in the zone. We'll see if Bucad gets a little bit more patient in the box until he gets a strike. 2-0 pitch. Once again, down in the zone, 3-0. He's going to bring up Craig McPhee. Craig McPhee's on deck. 3-0 count here to Bucad. Bucad sets, the shortstop for the Wasps. 3-0 pitch. Nearly gets him on the knee, and he'll earn a walk. So a base runner here for the Wasps with 2 outs, and that's going to bring up Craig McPhee. Hit by pitch in his first at-bat, singled in his second on a good swing over the shortstop's head, and then popped up to the shortstop in his last at-bat. Craig struggled a little bit to start off the year, but has hits in back-to-back games. Started game 2 of Maple Mountain and got a hit in that one, and now has a hit in this one against Cottonwood. Takes the curveball, but he is able to land that one for a strike.
Yeah, that hit he had here today, Tyler, was his best swing of the year. He was right on time, hit it right on the money, left center gap. Nice single for him.
Bucad's going to take second base quite easily, but it is another curveball that's in there for a strike. I think Cray saw how good of a jump that Carter had. He just went ahead and let him take the bag. The catcher doesn't even make an attempt. So 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bucad on second base here in the top of the 6th. Cray's going to swing at this one. It's going to be a ground ball to the shortstop. Shortstop can't handle it, and Cray is on by the air by the shortstop. Moves as Wasatch extends the inning here with 2 outs and gets to the top of the order.
I know we're starting to sound like a broken record with this, but this team is just good with 2 strikes of being competitive. Cray there saw 2 pretty good curveballs, kept him off balance early on, but he keeps the ball in play and keeps the pressure on. That's a slow roller. Shortstop thinking, I got to come in and get it, but it's also on the backhand side. Didn't quite get around the ball and rushed it. And Cray's able to find his way to the base, and now Erickson, who's been good, been on base 3 times today, has a chance to keep this inning going, driving a run.
First and third, 2 outs. Erickson's going to take strike 1, and again another curveball. Just a lot of curveballs. Crew on the day, 2 for 3. Has a single on a drag bunt, doubled in his first at bat, got hit by pitch in his second, and then flew out to right field. I think they're looking to see if there's a speed up option, but I think McKay might not have anybody left in the dugout to speed up for Cray.
Yeah, he's worked in a lot of subs into this game so far.
0-1 count to Crew. Again, Crew 2 for 3.
12 Wasatch players have played in this one.
I apologize. He's 2 for 2. Jaxon Kelson pinch hit for him in his last at bat, so he's 2 for 2 with a hit by pitch. And Slagowski once again gets another swing and miss on a ball in the dirt on that curveball. And now Wasatch is down to an 0-2, 2 outs. Again, Crew 2 for 2 today. Swings at a curveball that's up in the zone. It's going to be a little blooper, and it's going to be down as Wasatch gets another run in. Cray nearly gets picked off on a back pick at second. Slides in there safe, but the bloop single by Crew gets another run in for the Wasps with 2 outs.
Well, that's a single because of how much work he's done in the weight room over the last year. Crew, between even football season and baseball, has put on nearly 25 pounds. And a lot of muscle. He's been working hard in the weight room, and that ball, Tyler, was a flare ball that probably doesn't make it over the shortstop without that extra power in the swing.
11-4 the score. Chet Wilson's going to come up to the plate. Chet, 2 walks, a strikeout, and popped up to the shortstop. Has had a hard time finding his timing in the last pitcher. See what he can do against Legowski. Wasatch pushes a run across with 2 outs. They've been averaging about 3 to 4 runs a game with 2 outs. Fastball in there. Did he get the outside corner? Yes, does so for a strike. 0-1 count to Chet. 14 hits now on the game for the Wasps. 7-run lead. Slagowski takes a look, delivers. Swung on, fouled back. Moves the count to 0-2. Third straight hitter for Slagowski, where he's gone 0-2 with 2 outs. Wasatch has been able to extend the inning with each of them. Let's see if Chet can extend it one more time. 11 for the score. Cray McPhee, decent speed at second base. Crew, good speed at first base. The 0-2. Curveball, this one is hit hard at the second baseman. Second baseman stays down on it, throws it to first base, and the side is retired. But Wasatch is able to score 1 run on 1 hit. They leave 2 on base, no errors for Cottonwood in the inning. Wasatch leads 11-4. You're listening to 94.5 The Peak.
You might be used to having someone ask you the question, what is it that you need? I think that's limiting. I'm going to take you through a 6-step process. And it's simply answering questions. And it might not just be home. It might be that you want that fancy new car. It might be that you want trips. It's your list. What is it that you really, really want?
Call Tom Stone at Guild Mortgage in Heber City.
Tom Stone, MLS 257849. Guild Mortgage Company is an equal housing lender. MLS 3274. All loans are subject to underwriter approval. Terms and conditions may apply. Subject to change without notice.
Hi, this is Nicole with Mountain Refined Furnishings and Flooring. And if you didn't know, we've recently partnered with Mattress Warehouse of Utah to bring you the largest selection of mattresses around. The team at Mountain Refined prides themselves on making your home a place where you love to be. We offer a large selection of furnishings, flooring, window treatments, gifts, decor, and so much more. If you haven't been by lately, stop and check it out. You'll be pleasantly surprised. We're located at 480 North Main Street.
Heber City Point S is locally owned and operated by Larry Rhodes and Brad Hyatt. They offer the best brand tires at low prices with extensive knowledge and experience of repair and services with no pressure sales. Only what you need. They've been taking care of cars, trucks, and trailers for over 20 years. No appointment needed, conveniently located, free shuttle service, and free Wi-Fi. Take $5 off your next visit when you tell them 94.5 The Peak sent you over. That's Heber City, Point S.
Gucci Goo Barbecue in Heber Valley is a premier barbecue restaurant. You can choose from finger-licking ribs, poppin' andouille sausage, tasty chicken, tender brisket, delicious pork, and yummy street tacos. Friday night dates, take that significant other for the smoked prime rib that melts in your mouth. Family-friendly atmosphere where everyone is welcome, quick service for dine-in or takeout, great quality food, and great value for your money. That's Gucci Goo in Midway on Main Street.
This is live coverage of Wasatch High School sports on 94.5 The Peak.
Bottom of the 6th inning at Cottonwood High School, where the Wasps lead Cottonwood 11-4. 6th inning action brought to you by Mirror Lake Station, voted best donuts in Utah. The Mirror Lake Station is your stop for gas, groceries, goodies, and more. Legendary owners Dave and Kristen Wade invite you to swing on by and say hello this season at Mirror Lake Station in Camas.
Gage Sheesh will be on the mound now for the Wasps here in the bottom of the 6th. Wasatch trying to hold on to a 7-run lead, 11-4. Gage on the year, 4 innings pitched, 12.25 ERA, 4 Ks, 5 walks in those 4 innings that he's pitched. He's been competitive on the mound, however, for the Wasps. Garrett Baxter ends his outing with 2 innings pitched, gives up 4 runs on 3 hits. Up for the Cottonwood Colts will be the catcher, sophomore, singled left field and had 2 RBIs in his last at bat. Good smooth swing here from the number 8 hitter. Gage Sheesh throws a ball high in the zone to start off the outing.
And that's not uncommon, Tyler. A lot of times what you'll see in high school at the bottom of the lineup are inexperienced players, so some freshmen, sophomores that find their way into those spots. And they're good players as underclassmen that are finding their way into the lineup, so you can see some good mechanical swings. They just don't have a lot of experience. So that's sometimes why the bottom of the lineup can be a little bit sneaky good as well, is these kids can play. They just don't have a lot of experience.
3-0 count as Gage begins the outing with 3 straight balls, 2 Fox. And goes high once again, so 4 straight balls, and Wasatch has another walk here.
Well, Casey Anderson was so good. He got the start, went 3 innings, only gave up 2 hits for Wasatch, didn't walk anybody. 3 strikeouts was really good. Since that point, though, Wasatch has now walked 6 batters in this ball game, and that's on the back of, again, 12 walks and 2 hit by pitches yesterday. And so now between the 2 games, they've given 20 free passes. And the defense has backed him up, though. They've picked him up where the pitchers have maybe let him down a little bit. Between those 20 walks, they've only given up 8 runs, which is a pretty good number for the defense to hold in that relative area.
It's going to bring up the number 9 hitter, who is Snow. Snow flew out to the left fielder and then singled to the left side in his last at bat. A good swing.
Good number here for Wasatch in this game so far. Tyler is 14 hits in this game already by this team. Cole Zimmerman with 3 hits and Crew Erickson with 3 hits now in the ball game.
Misses high again, 1-1. He's missed high in the zone to start off this outing. Walked his first guy. Now facing again the number 9 hitter, Snow, who's playing second base. A senior for the Colts. Gage takes 1 look, delivers high again, 2-1. Going back to that Acuna and Freeman tie-in, and I really like Acuna. I like his game and his speed, but it's pretty bold when you're injured, right, and really weren't in the lineup at the end of the game.
He wasn't a part of that World Series winning lineup.
This one swung on. It's going to be back to the foul territory. How about a play by Cole Zimmerman? He's 3 for 3 in the box and makes a great play there as Wasatch gets the first out of the inning. Great play from Cole Zimmerman there at first base.
Oh, man, Tyler, he was retreating back there on a sprint. Remember, Cole's left-handed at first base, and that ball's pushing away from the first baseline. So Cole's looking around. It's not easy. A righty can kind of put that glove around and easily settle under that. Cole, on the other hand, kind of had to flip his shoulders, and the wind was pushing it back in. It's a very awkward ball. He did a great job to hang in there on that one and pull that one in.
He's going to bring up the leadoff hitter, Burke. Walked in his last at bat, singled in his first at bat, and then lined out to the left fielder in his second. Curveball. This is going to be a ground ball at Chet. Chet gets a glove on it. Can't field it. Bukad, though, comes up, throws out Burke at first base. Great play there from Bukad. Doesn't get the double play, but again, Bukad showing off the arm strength. Throws out Burke at first, and Wasatch has 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th.
How about that for a good spot A play of the game, Tyler? I love that one. That's just your, casual 5-6-3 put out there on the assist there from Wilson. Wasatch now with 2 outs. A good spot A, your favorite hometown place to relax and unwind. They offer massage, skin care, nail care, and unique relaxing spot packages. Pick a good spot A to be your spot.
He's going to bring up Field, the number 2 hitter, 295 coming into today. Singled to center field in his last at bat. He's going to take 2 balls up in the zone. Also has a strikeout in the game. Two-0 count here to Field with the runner on second base. Swung on. This one's going to be fouled out of play. Moves the count to 1-2.
Gage has been building up momentum on the mound, Tyler. He's a player that didn't see a lot of time early on in the season, but in the limited opportunities he has had, he's done a good job coming in and throwing strikes, mixing up pitches, and it seems like he's opening the door for more opportunity moving forward. He's helped him close a few games out as well.
Gets a called strike there, moves the count to 2-2 with 2 outs. Takes a look at the runner at second base and delivers the 2-2. Curveball down, doesn't get him to chase, and it'll be a full count. Continue to hear the wind here, Ty, and it's just spiraling. It almost feels like it's at my back now. Full count, 2 outs, runner on second base, 11-4 the score. Bottom of the 6th. Gage delivers the full count, swung on, fouled out of play. Actually goes into the backstop.
If you're just joining us, Wasatch leading 11-4 over Cottonwood. Bottom of the 6th inning, Wasatch has 14 hits on the game. It's your quick Doria Central scoreboard update.
Gets a curveball. He's going to swing and rope that one down the first base side, but it does go foul, and we'll reset again at full count. Field again, 1 for 3 on the day. Had a single in his last at bat. Fielder's choice ground out in his second. And has a strikeout as well. The payoff pitch. High in the zone, earns a walk. First and second walk of the inning for Sheesh, and that's going to bring up the number 3 hitter, Nielsen. .513 batting average, 1 for 2 today. Also has a sac fly for an RBI. Well, 16 RBIs on the year.
And I got to say this quick. You think he's going to see more than one pitch
we'll
here,
see.
Ty?
He's had 3 at-bats and 3 pitches.
This kid wants to get after it early.
Has 2 home runs on the year.
Probably has seen his average dip just below 500 now, going 1 for 3 in this one.
He does see a pitch. Now ball's up in the zone. That's actually not a bad spot. See if you can get him to chase a little bit up in the zone. Gage has been missing up in the zone, so I don't know if that's necessarily what the plan was there. 1-0. That one comes in there for a strike, so 1-1 now the count. Guys on first and second. Wasatch holding on to a 7-run lead here in the bottom of the 6th. Curveball gets in there for a strike. Nice pitch there from Gage. And that's going to move the count to 1-2. Nielsen doesn't like the call. Craig kind of came up out of his zone, out of his stance a little bit. But it's in there for a strike. 1-2 count, 2 outs. Gage delivers. Gets him to swing at it, and it's going to go foul and out of play. And we'll reset at 1-2.
Yeah, I don't know what he was shaking his head out on that previous pitch. That curveball started breaking and came across at the back of the plate. He's a little up in the zone, if anything, Tyler.
Yeah.
That's as a hitter. You want to go get those curveballs that are up in the zone.
1-2 pitch, and how about that? Fastball at the eyes, and Gage gets him swinging. That strikeout brought to you by Physical at the Pit Stop, as Wasatch is able to retire Cottonwood. No runs on no hits. No errors and 2 runners are left on base. Wasatch goes into the last inning, top of the 7th, with an 11-4 lead.
Dan Sluga at Wasatch Bag Flooring is extending his services to include quality paint products to complete your home remodeling needs. Locally owned and operated, Dan and his team can help you find the right flooring for your home with quality products from Mohawk, Shaw, Target, Godfrey Hirst, and many more. Since 2009, they've been exceeding their customers' needs by helping them select flooring that fits both their lifestyle and budget. They've got you covered at Wasatch Bag Flooring and Paints.
Wasatch Back Grill and Deli is a family-owned and operated business serving great food and customer service in Heber City and Midway for over 7 years. For a burger with kick, try the Firehouse. Have a hankering for some seafood? Try fish and chips. Or try the Mandarin chicken salad. Their homemade recipes, freshly grilled burgers and sandwiches are complemented with unique sauces and homemade sides. They provide the best experience and highest quality food. Stop by today and try their great menu items. As a thank you to teachers, first responders, medical personnel, and military, get 15% off meals all year round.
This is live coverage of Wasatch High School sports on 94.5 The Peak.
Top of the 7th inning here at Cottonwood High School. Wasatch leading Cottonwood 11-4. Peyton Swap stepping up to the plate for Wasatch, the number 3 hitter. He'll be followed by Cole Zimmerman, top of the 7th inning, brought to you by Gucci Goo Barbecue. Haven't been able to make it to the 7th inning very often here over the last couple weeks, Tyler. As Wasatch has mercy ruled a couple teams. So when we get a chance to talk Gucci Goo, we need to take that opportunity. Gucci Goo, I don't know if you've tried it. They have this thing called their Gucci Sundae out there.
No, I haven't had that yet.
Like homemade type macaroni and cheese, but they put all kinds of other good stuff on it. The meat especially that you can get on there is outstanding. Gucci Goo Barbecue, proud supporter of Wasatch Athletics, and you got to go try it if you haven't tried it.
Peyton Swap will come up against Legowski. So Legowski's been good for Cottonwoods. Pitched the last 2 innings, only given up 1 run in those 2 innings. Swap on the day, popped out to right field, had a sacrifice fly to right field, and then grounded out to the shortstop. He's going to swing at 1 in the dirt, but fouls it off, moves count to 2-1.
Yeah, and Peyton's first at bat here against Slagowski. It takes me a minute, Tyler. I can't get that. It's a tough one for me to get, but in his first at bat, his timing was not very good, and he rolled over to the shortstop, and you saw that again there on that one.
Well, he gets a hold of this one, Ty, and the left fielder has no idea where that ball's going as he laces a line drive into left field, gets the single, and Wasatch has their first guy on. Peyton was right on that one, and he'll single to left field. It's going to bring up Cole Zimmerman, the best hitter for Wasatch today. He had a sacrifice bunt in his first at bat, then single, double, as Cole comes into this at bat 3 for 3 with an RBI. See if Peyton is in motion here. Good speed at first base. Big hole on the 3-4 side. This ball bounces off the plate. Peyton's going to go ahead and go with the delay steal, and he'll advance to second base.
Yeah, Peyton was not in motion originally there on that, Tyler. Watch him. He took a good secondary hop, and he read that ball in the dirt before it hit the dirt. He saw it was going down, and then he just took off. Didn't even see whether the catcher got it clean or not. The catcher did not, and so there was not a play at second base.
Another RBI opportunity now here for Cole. He's going to swing at the 0-1. It's going to be a pop-up into left field. It's carrying, and the left fielder will settle underneath it. That's the first time that Cole he had a sac bunt, so he did get out on that first one, but he does pop out on the second one. But that one was pushed back. That pushed all the way back to the warning track. Good swing there from Cole.
Yeah, first official time he's made now in this ball game. Now 3 for 4 on the game.
It's going to bring up Alex Gutierrez. This is Alex Gutierrez's third at bat. He pinch hit for Jack Bluth, or was inserted into the game for Jack. Jack was good, Ty. 2 for 2, a double and a single and 2 RBIs before coming out of the game. Alex Gutierrez grounded out to the second baseman and popped up to the second baseman. There's going to be a ground ball up the middle. Second baseman knocks it down, but can't get the ball over to first base. You going to give him an infield single on that?
Yeah,
Ty?
that's a tough backhand play going up the middle. And Alex hustling down the line out of the left-handed batter's box. That's going to be a tough one to get him out on either way. But what the second baseman did do by knocking that ball down is keep the RBI off the board for Gutierrez. Swap had to stop at third as the second baseman kept that ball in play.
First and third, 1 out for Jaxon Sorenson. Sorenson with an RBI single in his first at-bat. Struck out swinging in his second against Legowski. Had a hard time getting on the curveball. See if Slagowski comes back with it. And Sorensen's been good in RBI opportunities this season. He's going to get a fastball a little bit behind it, and he'll foul that one off. 0-1 count. 16 hits now for Wasatch in the ball game.
Yeah, see if Jackson can get another one here. Put another run on the board.
It's that curveball inside, 1-1.
Well, I love this stat here, Tyler. Over the last, going back 5 games now, including this one in that 5 count, Wasatch has outscored the opposing team.
Good swing here from Sorenson. It's going to be down. Another RBI single for Sorenson. He's now 2 RBIs and 2 singles on the day, 2 for 3, as Jaxon Sorenson continues to swing it well this year for the Wasps, and that's going to bring up Tad Solser as Wasatch goes up 12-4 with that RBI single.
Well, and this hit changes the stat I was getting to. Now Wasatch has outscored their opponents 59-13 in the last 5 games, up 12-4 in this one. And so it's been a 4-game winning streak. They're on their way to making it a 5-game winning streak, and they have been completely dominant in those 5 games.
First and second, 1 out. Tad Solser gets his second at-bat of the game. He struck out swinging in his first at-bat. He'll take a strike here in the second at-bat. His third at-bat of the year. Got an at-bat yesterday against Westlake as well. Wasatch riding a 4-game winning streak, looking to make it 5 today. He's going to swing and get a hold of this one. That's a base hit down the third base side. Alex Gutierrez will come in. Jaxon Sorensen is going to try to get in there to third base. Does so. Solzer will advance to second base. Give the RBI to Tad. You going to rule that a double or a single on that one, Ty?
Oh, you know, Ty, I've got the dugout blocked on me here, and I can't
Let's
see anything.
give him a double.
So we're going to have to defer to you on that one.
Let's go with the double on that one. Tad Solzer with the RBI double. Scores 1 run, and Wasatch now leads 13-4. He's going to bring up Carter Bucad, his 5th at bat today, singled in his first one, then was retired in 2 straight, walked in his last at bat. Runners on second and third for the Wasps. Cottonwood's going to cut off their infield. Bucad's going to swing at the first pitch. Pop fly in the infield is going to go to the first baseman, who comes in and makes the play. And now 2 outs with runners on second and third for Craig McPhee.
Yeah, that ball actually pushed to the foul territory, Tyler. So you talk about the swirling wind. About 10 minutes ago, it felt like it was pushing out from behind home plate. Now it's pushing in hard coming from right field. That ball nearly got pushed into foul territory.
Craig McPhee has reached base 3 times today. He was hit by a pitch in his first at bat, singled in his second, popped out to the shortstop, and then reached by an error on the shortstop in his 4th at bat. 17 hits now for Wasatch. 9-run lead, 13-4 here in the top of the 7th. Ball 1, it's going to swing at this one and fouls it back to the backstop, moves the count to 1-1.
Well, it's not usual in a 6-inning game that you get 6 at-bats, Tyler, but Wasatch is on the verge of going their 6th time through the lineup. If Craig can get on base, that would reset to the top for the 6th time.
Takes a ball up in the zone, moves the count to 2-1. Yeah, and Crew's been good. Ty's got, well, no, this would be Crew's 5th at bat because remember, Jackson Kelson pinch hit for him, but it would be the 6th time through the lineup for Wasatch. I'm rounding out spaces on my cheat sheet here. 2-1 pitch is swung on by Cray. It's going to be a pop fly to right field. Right fielder comes up, Canicorn catch, and Wasatch leads 13-4 as they are able to push 2 runs across in that inning on 4 hits, no errors, 2 runners are left on base. 13-4 the lead. You're listening to 94.5 The Peak.
Hi, this is Abby Covarrubias, the Wasatch High School Student Body President. Did you know that parents are the #1 reason kids don't drink? Believe it or not, teens still listen to their parents. In fact, kids usually listen to their parents more than anyone else, including their friends. Utah kids report the #1 reason they choose not to drink is their parents' strong disapproval. All kids need a parent's help to stay drug and alcohol free. Brought to you by Wasatch Behavioral Health and the Parent Bonding Project.
Napa know-how.
Your local Napa Auto Parts, Wasatch Auto Parts at 105 North Main Street in Heber City stocks auto parts, tools and equipment, and many other items for heavy-duty trucks, marine, and farming equipment. Stop in today at Wasatch Auto Parts, 105 North Main Street in Heber City, a proud sponsor of Wasatch Wasps Sports.
Napa know-how.
Hi, friend. Are you ready for your next delicious meal? Come to the Dairy King, home of the train, where they're serving the yummiest food to friends and family in the valley. Come in and get a mouth-watering peach shake, peach cobbler shake, or peach raspberry shake. Dairy King, the winner of the Best of State for 18 years. They're celebrating their 75th anniversary. Bring a picture and a memory of being at Dairy King. Proudly serving the Heber Valley for 75 years. The Dairy King, home of the train, is serving deliciousness daily. Stop in today. And now, back to to the action. Wasatch High School Sports on 94.5 The Peak.
Welcome back to the bottom of the seventh inning. We're not used to the bottom of the seventh very often in these last four games. The Wasatch's four-game win streak, they've had a couple of 10-run rules. But here we are in the bottom of the seventh. Wasatch got out to a 10-0 lead. Allowed Cottonwood to get back into it a little bit, gave up 2 runs in back-to-back innings to make the score 10-4, but Wasatch has been able to push across 3 runs in the last 2 innings to make the score 13-4 as we go into the bottom of the seventh inning. That update brought to you by Dorius Dental. Dr. Dorius and Dr. Proctor offer no surprises in dental treatment. Let Dorius Dental make your mouth smile. Learn more at DoriusDental.com. Up for the Cottonwood Colts will be the first baseman, Dozy. Strikeout, walk, and he now goes up 3-0 in this at-bat.
If you're just joining us, Wasatch has scored in 5 out of the 7 innings, 18 hits, 13 runs on the game. And that's not against cheap pitching. The starting pitcher for Cottonwood, good arm and a great player, like we talked about early on, a University of Utah commit, not to be a pitcher though, as a position player, Tyler, but still a talented kid that Wasatch has done a good job against.
Dozy finally gets a pitch that he can swing at, and he's going to lace this one to right field. So after a strikeout and walk, he ropes a single to right field, and that's how we'll start off the inning. Gage Sheesh still on the mound, pitched the last one, gave up no runs on no hits, did walk 2 batters. Now you're going to have a pinch runner over at first base. Is going to be number 26 for Cottonwood. Waymont Jr. Brings up number 28, Stinson, the right fielder, a sophomore, .423 batting average. And he's going to take one off the front leg. So back-to-back base runners on for Cottonwood, and that's going to bring up the left fielder, Saran. Strikeout, walk as well for Saran in the ballgame.
It's now the 8th free pass from Wasatch in this game for Cottonwood. Defense has stood strong, though, in the freebies that Wasatch has given. We've had some really stellar defensive plays made by both the infield and outfield, and including the catcher, a couple pickoffs coming at key moments with base runners on.
Nice curveball in there for strike 2. Got a fastball on the bottom part of the zone, and now comes with a curveball that comes into the zone, moving the count to 0-2. First and second, nobody out here for Wasatch here in the bottom of the 7th. Fastball doesn't get him to chase, so 1-2. Runners for Cottonwood again on first and second is Waymont and Stinson. Good speed from both rep players. And Gage gets him chasing on a curveball out of the zone. Second strikeout of the game for Saran. Second strikeout of the game for Gage Sheesh as well. Strikeouts once again brought to you by Physical at the Fit Stop.
Yeah, your locally owned and operated physical therapy clinic serving you from head to toe, including vertigo and sports injuries, serving the Heber Valley for over 40 years. Physical at the Fit Stop.
Gage will miss low and away to the third baseman, Green. 297 batting average coming into today, but he's 0 for 3. A couple of ground outs to the left side and a fly out to the center fielder. Comes back with a strike, though, 1-1. Off there, mentioned to Ty that Gage has increased his speed on the mound. Used to be a guy that would come in, had a good curveball right there. He gets a swing and a miss, but he's also added a fastball that he was able to get Nielsen. You were mentioning, Ty, the Utah commit, chasing in the last inning for a strikeout.
Yeah, and he's doing a better job of using his full body on the mound. In fact, in the first game that he pitched down in St. George.
1-2 is smoked, but Carter caught up the middle, steps on second, and how about that? A double play to end the inning. Double play brought to you by Gravity Coalition, offering the best in bike, skis, skateboards, and more in the Heber Valley. Personalized service, sales, and repair for the gear you love. Wasatch comes into Cottonwood High School, the number 7 team in the RPI, and comes away with a convincing 13-4 victory. We'll have your Timberline Ace Hardware postgame show right after this.
Timberline Ace Hardware is your full-line Benjamin Moore paint store. Visit them for your home projects, business-to-business, and contractor needs. And remember to ask about their delivery services. And they're looking for some cashiers. Apply today. And get your Carhartt wear, your cool outdoor clothing, and Wrangler jeans. Timberline Ace Hardware, located west of the Wasatch Wasps football stadium at 737 South Main Street, serving the Heber Valley for over 50 years.
The 50s produced some great sound. That early rock and roll triggered so much emotion for so many. Here's another sound from that era. The devil